What's happening, everybody? Yeah, we're going live from this crappy 10-year-old Chromebook here briefly so I can share out since the uh, iPad decided to croak on us. So I will be swapping over to the phone shortly, but I can't share this out while I'm on the phone. So it's going to be kind of an easy night tonight. We're going to bring in a couple people. If you guys want to join the video, we got Mike backstage now. So we're going to do a little Q&A on the book, tell stories, BS, have a little bit of fun. And, if anybody has any questions about the book, feel free to ask them. I'm going to share this out a little more, and let's welcome Mike to the show. What's going on, Mike?
Another day.
Another day. I hear you. I'm not excited about going back to work tomorrow at all.
We got snow today. Arkansas doesn't get snow all the time. The state
That's crazy.
Doesn't know how to deal with it.
It's no different here in Missouri, man. It snows here, and people are like, "Oh my God, I don't know how to drive." And it's the same way when it rains, like Highway 70. Like literally, after the fifth or sixth drop hits the ground, there's a one-car accident where somebody crashed into a wall because they drive 800 mile an hour. It's insane.
Yeah. I come from Iowa, and up in Iowa we get feet of snow. Easy, no problem. Just we'll push right through. Down here we get a few inches of snow, and they're like, maybe we should shut the roads down. I'm like, whoa.
What is he in Texas?
No, he lives in. You just said they live in Arkansas.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, he's from Arkansas. He's from Iowa, and now they live in Arkansas. Sorry.
Yeah, so I lived on both sides of you. Missouri's right between the two.
Yeah, I've worked out of Kansas, and I'll never forget. We didn't get anything at our house, but I was stationed up in Kansas, Olathe, and I think I was there like 2 or 3 days, and I had my wife with me, and we got like 8 inches of snow in like 2 hours. She's like, "Holy crap! I wish we could get snow like that." And of course, we had the truck up there, so we decided to go play in it. All right, guys, give me just a second. I'm going to swap cameras. I'm finishing sharing this out, and we will get this show on the road. And by the way, just like Mike here, if anybody wants to join in and join the BS and have fun with the group chat, send me a message, and I will send you the link to get in. So you definitely, if you guys want to come in and shoot the shit and have fun and just BS with us, you are more than welcome to. Now I got to figure out how to send this to myself since I'm already live. Technology. And also Heather might join us for a little bit too. So let's see. Boom. All right. So share, invite myself. It's going to get confused. We're going to break it. We're totally going to break it tonight. This is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. Here, I'm going to send it to you. Forward this to me, hon.
Forward it to you on what?
On my messenger so I can open it in my phone. I should have did this before the show, and I didn't even think about it because the Chromebook won't last for much longer. Like, before too long, it'll be like self-destruct sequence is activated. I'll start freezing up, and everybody will laugh at me. The usual. Send. Send. Whatever. I don't know if it's sent to you or not. I think I just locked up.
Did you send it to me on? What did you send it to me on?
I'm pasting it right now. There you go. That should be on you. Boom. Exit
Now
out.
I'm supposed to forward it back to you?
Yeah, just copy and paste the link at top.
Huh. I'm all by myself. I don't think that was meant to be.
Oh, you're good, Mike. I'm coming in on the phone, so I dropped the computer out. You're good. I'm still here.
I didn't figure I was on fire or anything. I just dropped a message to see if somebody else wanted to be on. Told them to send you a message.
What's going on, man? I am back. Look at that. Just like that. Yeah, so the Chromebook for some reason is what the issue has been this whole time with everything freezing up and locking up and then so I started borrowing my wife's iPad to go live with, and I'm like, I can use the computer, the Chromebook. Well, I was using the computer crapped out, so now I'm using the Chromebook, but the Chromebook won't let you go live. It's one of those fun, you know, computer things that goes on. We won't talk about it.
It's always fun. Hey,
Well,
Jack.
what's going on, Jack? And so then what happened was, what's going on, Andre? Thanks for joining. Sorry, guys, about that. I wanted to share out and give everybody a chance to join in, try to get some, people in that have been eyeballing the book and had questions about it. We can talk about the book and we can talk about bullshit stories and have a good time. Then I had something lined up for today, and then we realized it wasn't going to work. So then we moved it to Tuesday, and I was like, it's too short a notice now to get somebody else on. So we'll just have a fun show. We don't ever really do those. So, oh man, we got a gangster in here. What is going on, Jack?
What's up, Russell? What's up, Mike?
Social distance and everything.
Yep.
What's that?
Social distancing and everything is what Mike said. And I said, yep.
Oh, social distancing. Yeah, I don't understand. That's the other thing that's been going on with StreamYard. Anytime I bring somebody new in, it garbles the audio for like 5 or 10 seconds, and then it's fine for the rest of the show. Hey, Courtney, how's it going? Thanks for joining in. So, yeah, we're going to have some crazy fun tonight, tell some funny stories. Like the funniest story recently, and I finally remember what it was because my wife brought it up today. So, that night that I grilled, that I was telling you guys I grilled out back here with the small grill, we had leftovers. And so I ended up the next day I'm at work and my wife calls and she's like, "You're never going to believe what your daughter said today." She's like, I cooked her a pork chop and put it on a sandwich, and she had a barbecue pork chop sandwich. And she goes, "You know what, Mom? My daddy really knows how to handle his meat." And I was like, "Oh, for the love of God." I was like, "Here we go." So, kids say the funniest things.
Do they? Or is it just perfect timing?
I guess it's perfect timing. Well, I sent you that video earlier of Adriana. Oh my gosh, that
No,
was the
yeah.
best.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, we were sitting in the parking lot at CVS because we ran Little Man to Minute Clinic. That's part of the reason why we're late to get tonight, guys. Sorry about that, folks. Usually I like to start at 8. I didn't know if this was going to happen, so I never created a link for it because, as you guys know, the guys that joined last night, Little Man's been sick. So we took him today. It's not strep throat. This morning he had stuff in his throat, and we're like, "Oh no, it's strep." And so we ran him to the CVS urgent care, and they did a strep test. It came back negative, and but he's got a severe ear infection, so they gave him medication for that. But we were up till like 3:00 in the morning this morning with him. He finally went to bed, so we didn't get up this morning until like 11:30, and when we got up, he still wasn't even up yet. He was like, "Screw this, I'm done." And so when he got up this morning, he's like, "My throat hurts," and we looked and we're like, "Oh boy, here we go, strep." So But he's doing good. He's in bed. He was ready for bed. He's like, can I go to bed now? I'm like, yes, you can. Let's do it.
You've been up all night and all day. You can definitely go to bed soon now.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like I was messaging you at 3:00 this morning, and
Oh, I know.
Lewis-
That's why I was like, I know you didn't get much sleep either, so
yeah,
I'm
it
sure
was
you were
crazy.
glad that he was like, you know what, I need to knock out. It's like, thank you, son. Please do.
Yeah, yeah, no joke. Well, I mean, and they put him on a new medication. Like, I want to say, yeah, it was when I was on vacation. Yeah, so when I was on vacation, they put him on a new medication because he has ADHD. A lot of heart kids. That's one of the things that they develop as they put him on the heart lung bypass. It does something in their brain, and so like one of the things that they did was he regressed. He forgot how to walk. His speech got really bad, and so we had to pretty much teach him how to walk again. It took us like a week before he could even stand on his own. And then the other thing is it causes like severe ADHD. It's like he was doing crazy stuff at school, and they're like, "Hey, can you guys do something?" And I'm like, we talked to the doctor, and they said he couldn't do anything until he was in school. So they put him on medication, and they've slowly upped it over the last year and a half since he was in preschool. But now he's getting homeschooled, and so is Adriana because she's not doing preschool. And so we're like, hey, you guys need to put him on something, a little bit different. Maybe we need to go ahead and move towards the stimulant because that's what his cardiologist wanted to do. Well, they put him on that and twice a day. So like during the day, he's totally fine. And then so my wife gives him like the second dose at like 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's like 7:30 at night, and all of a sudden it's like this dude's on speed. Like he's running around the house like Sonic the Hedgehog, jumping up and down on his bed, but like banging on the walls. And then he like has psychotic episodes where he starts screaming and going crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, he's possessed. Call somebody, call an exorcist to come deal with this. So we finally narrowed it down to that. And I'm like, all right, just stop giving him a second dose and we'll see if that helps. And so she stopped giving him the second dose and he's been fine since then. But I'm like, here we go again. With last night, he was up until 3. I'm like, oh my God. I hope we don't start this again.
Trish said hi. She just got home.
Sorry.
Hi, Trish.
Oh, hey, Trish, what's going on?
This mask is getting really, hot.
Yeah, mine is too. Hold on, let me take my mask off.
Sure, I can find a mask, but I'm not much for them.
Yeah, I'm not either. The only reason I wear one at work is, to keep little man safe. And we don't really go into the stores. We do a lot of store pickup stuff just because of him, which sucks. Because, like, I think about every other time we've done it, we've come up missing stuff. Like, they forgot my damn cookies the last time. Like, how do you forget somebody's cookies? Like, for real, man.
It's simple. It's really simple. A friend of mine does a lot of those pickups, and sometimes the app cuts off all the instructions.
That's it.
So, like, they can only see a small part of it. So it's like, well, they can't scroll for some reason. Their apps decided not to let them scroll. So they get screwed.
What's going on,
And
Lewis?
so do the customers.
Hey, you want to get in on this, Lewis? I'll send you a link. We can get on here. We can bust out Hyundai Studios. And sorry about when I transitioned too, it took me a minute because I got on there and it still said Harry Sack Blue Balls Reviews. So, and I had it in the holster already. So I was like, oh man, I got to type with this thing. I'm like, boop, boop, boop. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. It's been an interesting year for everybody. So, it's been a lot of fun. I'm really glad that, I was able to do this Rust Explode Studios and start doing these creator interviews because it's been a lot of fun. I met a lot of you guys, Mike and Trish and Jack, Lewis, a lot of people I haven't known up until, COVID hit and we were forced to stay home and everybody started doing these live videos. And it's like, oh, hey, these people are pretty cool. So
I think I think COVID was really a blessing for a lot of indie creators.
yeah, it really was.
Most definitely.
Yeah, COVID hit, and then we started paying attention to Zindoscope because they were doing a live stream every month or so. And then Tom Hutchinson had World Goth Day, and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And just down the rabbit hole I went after a while. Now we've backed a good number of Kickstarters and found lots of ways to spend money. But I've been working on making my own comic. I want to be
Really?
like everybody else.
That should be very interesting, Mike.
I think it will. It takes a while.
I'm
though.
guessing. I'm guessing you're going with the witches route.
It will be, yes. There will be magical element to it, yeah.
Hell yes, that's what I'm talking about. I know how much
Awesome.
you like witches, so I was like, it's got to have some witches in there, or at least one.
Well, I like a lot of stuff. I mean, I read so much. I still get Marvel and DC and now a ton of independents, and we buy from shows and stuff. I have 3 small short boxes of stuff I could read that I haven't got to yet. So,
I think I got to my 4th now
oh, yeah, I bet you have.
of stuff that I haven't read yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, Trish, we got to have COVID 20 or something soon so that, I'll have some time. Oh, yeah.
I
but
think the
just
biggest, I would say the biggest issue is all the indie creators were like, you know what, we have all this time on our hand. Let's start getting our names and stuff out there, which is why we all ended up finding each other, which is great. But then, for Mike, myself, and so many others, we've been spending an insane amount of money for all these indie creators because it's like, oh yeah, that looks cool. Man, that looks awesome. I love that cover. Or this last issue was amazing. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's,
I've just about got all of Big Dog stuff. When the shipments come in from Tom, I think I'll only be missing 2 or 3 issues. So it gets crazy.
yeah, it does
at
get
least
crazy.
the trades you'll probably be up to speed though, right? Not specifically like every cover.
No, I do not know. I don't really collect covers. I frequently try to get the cover I like the most. But I mean, if it weren't for Trish, it would always be a normal cover. Trish this last time with Earth was like, we should get a medal. And I'm like,
Wow.
but this is the medal I wanted. So we bought 2 medals in this last campaign. And after we bought them, I realized we hadn't got the cover Trish really wanted because she really wanted to get the Chibi cover. And we hadn't bought the Witch cover yet. So, I mean, I had to buy the Witch cover. So I was like, well, I could get these. So I just called my daughters up and made them each back to campaign 2 and buy the books that I wanted. So when Ursa rolls out, I will have 4 of everything that comes with the stretch goals.
Nice.
Oh, and then Steph Wilson put out a cover, Women on Trampolines. And Trish is like, can we get one more? I'm like, all right. I'll buy one more Big Dog product, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sadly, Steph's was the one cover that I didn't get, or one of the few covers I didn't get for Ursa.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty sure we were getting Steph's cover.
Yeah, 2020's done a lot of great stuff for the indie industry. I mean, part of it was Marvel and DC shutting down. People are like, what am I going to read and what am I going to do to get my comic book fix? And, everybody couldn't afford to buy the Golden Age books they were trying to get a hold of or the Silver Age or, getting back issues of stuff that they normally read. So they're like, what do I read? And everybody's posting, sharing out all these indie projects. And the indie creators are like, hey, this is my time. Marvel and DC shut down. I can really put this out there and get it in the public's eye. And so it's been really helpful, not only with the shutdown as far as, people don't have anything to read, but these indie creators got the gumption to get off their butts and push their products and get it done and get it out there for everyone to read. So it's not only helped the indie creators, but it's helped generate more indie content and at the same time.
Well, definitely.
And when you're chasing this stuff, the indie creators have stuff. I was getting into Belial, Chuck's book.
Yeah.
And then I found out there was a book called The Advocator that had a Chuck's story of Belial in it. And now I've found several books attached to that I need to get. So, I mean, there's a whole world of stuff out there. Lewis, who's in the stream earlier, all that Lily the Demoness stuff. I'm like, that looks interesting. And then when you said that it's all connected, I'm like, oh no, I have to buy all of this
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I found out recently about that too because I was reading it and it has ads inside his comics for the other series, and it's like, damn it, now I got to find those and buy more, and this is gonna set me back even more. Lovely.
Well, I think most everything has to wait till the new year because the silly holiday is coming up. And
Work only lets me work so much overtime.
yeah, work only lets Trish have so much overtime, but they do let her have a lot. So I mean, they're good there.
So let me ask though, do you call it the silly holiday because the silly wives go out and they buy way more gifts than they should? Because my wife does this every year. She'll be like, "Don't even," it's true. So she'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this for the kids. Oh, I'm gonna get this for the kids." Well, she buys stuff like 3 months before Christmas and forgets she bought all this stuff. So she buys like a shit ton of more stuff. So when the kids go to open Christmas presents, it looks like freaking Magic Mountain in here. They're like, you can't even see the freaking tree. And so the kids are opening up all these gifts. She's like, oh my God, I did spend too much on gifts this year. And I'm like, yeah, we do this every year. So this year she's like, well, what all have I bought? I'm like, well, you got this. She goes, oh, I forgot I got those floor puzzles. Because, we've been picking up stuff, like she found these Melissa and Doug floor puzzles for the kids. And they're normally like $40. They were on like an end cap for $8.99 on some kind of flash sale like a week and a half before 2 weeks before Black Friday. So she's like, oh, I'm going to pick these up. Well, I told her about those, and she's like, oh, I forgot about those. I was like, that was 3 weeks ago. How do you forget about this stuff? So I call it the silly holiday because she goes just silly and just buys way too much stuff. And so we're trying to be conservative this year. We've gotten them a couple of big things, but it's like it's not going to be like it has been. And it's a sad thing. It's going to be like that for a lot of people. I mean, unfortunately, we've got a lot of people that have missed work. They've lost their jobs. Their places of employment have shut down. And this year has just been absolutely insane. I mean, even on my end with missing January and February, and then I went back, and then I had the car wreck, and I missed March. And I'm fortunate enough that I have a job in the oil industry. So, it's something that always stays running no matter what. Even if the government shuts down everything, I'll still be running. But it's scary at the same time too. You got all these people that are on the streets, that are out on the road, that are running in and out of places, delivering bread to grocery stores. And it's like you got to think how scary that is. I mean, even for me with having Roderick and his heart issues, is like last night when he had that fever, I'm sitting there blaming myself. I'm like, man, I really hope I didn't go into somewhere and pick up COVID and bring it home to him. Maybe I'm asymptomatic or something. So. I mean, it's just been a scary year, not only money-wise, health-wise. I mean, you got to work to support your family, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to kill my kids or my wife bringing it home to them. And so it's just been an absolutely crazy year, but we've almost made it through it. We've got, 18 more days after today? Something like that?
Well,
Something like that.
When the virus goes away is when really the things get easier, but if you're healthy and you get COVID, it's not such a bad deal, I don't think. It's a bad flu.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had plenty of bad flus roll through. But, yeah, if you have a weakened immune system or you're a small child or an elderly person, this could be it.
Well, and the crazy thing is all the after effects and shit that's been happening. That's like her mom. So her whole side of the family ended up getting it. Her mom, except for the niece, which is insane. That's what really blows my mind away. Like everybody in the household and everybody that was out there got it except for our niece. So our nephew got it.
So she was probably asymptomatic.
Yeah, possibly. Well, she tested negative for it when everybody else was testing positive. So she didn't even have it in her system.
Even if you're asymptomatic, you can still spread it. And you can still test negative.
Yeah, and that's what we were kind of thinking with it. But, it's insane. So, like, her mom had it. And so, like, it's been, like, almost a month and a half since she's had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now she still can't talk. So like she'll talk for 5 or 10 minutes and then her voice completely leaves. And she went to the doctor for her well visit, and she's like, I don't understand. Now I talk for 5 or 10 minutes, I lose my voice and I can't talk at all. And he said, oh yeah, that's a side effect of an after effect of COVID. We don't know if it'll ever go away or if you're always going to have to deal with it. And then you got the kids are getting the Kawasaki disease and all this stuff where they're having neurological things. So like that just scares me to death. It's like, man, if you bring it home and give it to your kids and then they got to deal with this for the rest of their life. It's crazy.
Yeah, we have no clue on what this virus truly does long term, let alone short term as of right now.
And then we get fun stuff like this, in the mail. It just makes it so much better. It takes your mind off of it. So if
It
anybody
definitely does.
So if anybody didn't get theirs yet, I got mine. My wife left it out in the truck. We'll go full screen here for a second and show it off. And that was not who I wanted to go full screen here. Oh my gosh. Technological difficulties. Let's try this. There we go. So look at that right there. Happy holidays.
You know what stuff started?
From Steph. And you get these great little notes on there, and right there, Steph Poole rules. Gotta love Steph Poole. And it sucks. I know, guys. I'm a terrible person. I missed last Thursday, which I guess I didn't really miss anything since Steph was having technological issues.
Oh yeah, that was so rough. His stream kept cutting out. Thursday was so rough on the Facebook stream.
Oh, and it's been bad.
Facebook really didn't want us to watch it.
Yeah, it's been terrible. Like our internet here, Charter, we've had like 2 weekends that we've went like over a day and a half without internet. We look it up and they're like, oh yeah, there's 750,000 people without internet. I'm like, well, that's good and all. I have a live show in like 6 hours. Oh, there we go. And then Mike's showing his off there. That's something awesome.
That card's thanks to me. I'd like to point out.
Yeah, this is really like Trish's.
Steph Wilson ran out of Lewis says it's because Steph Wilson ran out of AOL minutes. No, you see what it is he spent that expired currency that he has, that he was talking about. They brought it back and then they tried to trade it in and they wouldn't take it. He tried to pawn it off on AOL. He's like, here, take this. You're outdated and so is this money. And they're like, nope, deleted.
See? Good old Steph Wilson and Carrie. Yeah, man.
That's right. Spreading the holiday love.
Just love that. Love it.
I love last year's card too. It had the naughty list and he wrote our names in it. Where is Steph Wilson at? I need to tag his butt and get him in here. Stir up.
I'm actually
trouble.
very surprised he's not here.
Well, he's slacking. What are we going to do with him? Damn kids. He might be on Mog's live stream. So I'm going to share screen this real quick. Everybody will still be on here. I'm going to put it on this side. So we had a nice little bump again today. We gained, oh God. Sorry, guys. I've been getting like really bad Charlie horses in my back. Charlie can have his freaking horses back. So we got a good bump today. We're up to 45 backers. We're at 2778. We got 3 days to go as of half an hour ago. What the heck just happened? Really? StreamYard is going to go and be like that. Be like, we removed your share screen. Ha ha ha. That's right. That's right. What do you think about that? So anyway, now that we've got it back up here. So we got 45 backers now. We're at 2778. So we're almost at 50%. We got 3 days to go as of a half an hour ago. Because at 8:32, I launched on Tuesday. So it will end this Thursday at 8:32 p.m. And for anybody going and watching this and checking out our chill, super sweet convo as we're just BSing here tonight, this was recently added. We have 7 super sweet, awesome people that said, let's include a digital copy of the comic book in here. and try to give people something else that they can taste along with the book. So you got Chuck Penhow's and Sean Barber's Belial, #1. You'll get the digital PDF of that. You got CB Zane's Into the Suck. You'll get a nice little taste of that. Rodney Fike's Roadkill Rampage, which I don't know why it cut the top of it off when I put it in here, but it did. So you got Rodney Fike's Roadkill Rampage, which is not his first comic. It is his first comic intro into the horror books. Rodney really wanted to get in and try to do a more adult-themed book. He has several other books that he's done, Pitter Patter and Peanut Pudding and Jelly and stuff like that. And CB also has another series, Scorpiana. And Chuck has another series that just funded on Kickstarter, I want to say 2 weeks ago. Essence House ended. So him
Chuck
and
also has another title called Welcome to the Void.
yep, Welcome to the Void. And then we also have Alton Simpson's Vampires in New Jersey. He's got several awesome titles. And of course, all of them except for the Roadkill Rampage and Belial, #1, Belial #2. They have Steph Wilson covers, so I'm sure you can get a hold of some of those. And then we got Wendy Steenshainer's awesome, super sweet, Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassins, #1. Then we've got Tom Hutchison's Critter, #1, remastered edition. And we've got, last but not least, from Codex Entertainment LLC, from Tripod Kitty Yuri owner Luis Torres, Lily the Demoness, #1. The what? Hold on, we got to go back and talk about this. Let's see. Wait. Yes, Lewis gave heart, ran out of AOL minutes, and then they don't accept Wendy's Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassin booty bucks. Well, see, and we don't even have those yet to spend them, Lewis. That's the bad thing. Oh, that's fun.
Well,
Sorry.
Lewis might have got some issues early, maybe.
Well, see, that's the thing. If
For
you
that
get
cash.
Yeah, if you got the Naughty Fairy Steampunk playing cards, some of the stretch goals included the Naughty Fairy cash on there, which I could probably bring that up. Let's see. Then all the cool day one backer bonuses get their stuff pool drawing of their choice. Then you got the Super Sweet Explode member card that gets you 10% off for life at my website and cons. If you bring a friend and you both end up funding at the end. And then you got all the tiers, which we don't need to talk about unless anybody has questions. I don't think anybody's in here right now that doesn't know. And if you are watching this back and you do have questions about anything about the book, please feel free to ask. I'm available almost every time. Or I will always get back to you within 24 hours for sure. I think even if the world was ending and my house was on fire and I was getting shot at, I would still reply to messages because that's usually how my life is anyway.
Must get to phone and answer question.
Well, 2020 has been a dumpster fire, so I've been dealing with so many fires going on at the same time that it's just I think at this point I'm well enough versed in dumpster fires that I can pretty much deal with any situation and still take care of business. Steampunk. We're going to bring this up. And we're going to show off those booty bucks. See, yeah, here we go. So see what probably happened here is Lewis was probably creeping in Steph's window. And, because he did end up stealing Steph's barbed wire fencing. If anybody doesn't know the story about that, Steph had barbed wire fencing put up. Lewis cut it up and put it all in the trunk of his super sweet Hyundai. And
Hey, he had to drag it across the country.
Yeah, drag it across the country. Back to now. We're gonna get blurry. Really, I'm gonna have to exit out and come back in. Don't do this to me. Load and like it. I want the updates.
Technology is resisting you today.
Oh, dude, it's every day. Hey, at least we're not getting cut off of the air yet.
Or glitching out, but hey,
Yeah.
I guess beggars can't be choosers at this point, right?
That's right. It ain't gonna let me pull it up anyway. It's just let me pull up the updates, which it's in the updates, but it'll be so small you guys won't be able to see it. So yeah, if you back Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassin Steampunk playing cards, you will be getting Steph Wilson booty bucks. I think we got the $5, the $10, and the $20 if I'm not mistaken. Something like that.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was the 1, the 2, a 5, a 10,
Yeah.
and a 20.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like 27 stretch goals. I was super excited about the freaking bottle opener. The bottle opener, like when I got the email before it was even posted in the updates, like we got the email or some kind of notification like, hey, we're going to have this beer bottle opener. And I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. So when Wendy got the blanks and she was sending me pictures of the blanks and what they looked like after they're done, and I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to be blown away. If you thought the picture of them was badass, when you guys see these freaking bottle openers in person, you're just going to pass out. They are phenomenal. Absolutely beautiful.
I thought it was
I
actually
got-
pretty interesting that Wendy was putting them together. Sorry to cut you off, Mike.
Oh no, you're fine. I got to see the bottle openers on one of their many broadcasts. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome.
We didn't back it until they were getting to the bottle openers. Only because, well, we back too much sometimes and buy too much, and we have to wonder, will the money be there when we need it to be? So we were moving
Right.
some things around, and they announced the bottle openers, and I was like, Trish, we know we're going to back it. It's like, oh yeah, we'll back it tonight. So we backed it when they were on one of their shows, and I tried to tell them, only because you're bottle openers. Trish is a very practical woman. Wants to back this because we need a bottle opener in our kitchen.
And this one comes with playing cards. Yeah, that was when Wendy and Steph were live on my show, the Sunday, the week that it ended, and also the week that I launched my project on Tuesday. So yeah, that was like the 15th of November. See, I have a really, really good memory for stuff like that. I didn't know. It's really weird.
I have a really awful memory for stuff like that, but I do have a notebook that I write everything down on.
The problem is finding the notes when you need it, right, Mike?
Well, it does get a little complicated because stuff gets mixed around and moved around. And then I have to go through and check stuff off that I've received, like, oh, I got that. I have a package coming from Onry right now, and a package coming from Kevin, and 2 packs coming from Tom, and about 10 Kickstarters sometime.
Right.
So exciting news,
That's
guys.
sometime.
I don't mean to cut you off, but that's why I was focusing at the phone so crazily. I just received a message on Facebook stating that we now have an 8th title that has been added to the list of digital PDF comics for Xenonanite Titan.
Now, before you announce it, let me guess. It's gonna be Jimmy Noble's. We'll go with the offshoot. We'll go with Rax.
Nope. And see,
Okay.
Rax is actually Kevin Johnson's title. Kevin Johnson did the story for Rax, #1.
Mark May. Something. I guess.
Sorry.
Trish was guessing Mark May.
No.
No, you're wrong
No.
too, baby.
You guys got any more guesses lined up there for who it is? Are you ready for me to announce the exciting new awesome title that will be added to the 7 amazing, now 8 amazing books?
Travis.
Does Travis have? Travis doesn't have a book in there yet, does he?
Travis Gibb?
Yep.
No, Travis doesn't have one. I didn't ask. I haven't asked Travis. I thought about it, but are you ready? Are you patiently waiting?
Go for it.
I'm just waiting to see if you guys are going to guess it.
I'm
we
sitting
now
down.
Advocator.
The Advocator. No, that would be an awesome book though too.
I just wanted to throw it out there for Jim. I was like, high bar, but probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, and see, I don't know, man. I'm sure Jim would be cool throwing in, but man, I don't know. We might miss the mark on the audience there. So, drum roll. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Trish. So we will hold on. We're gonna go full screen for this so we can make some awesome faces. So, Xenonanite Titan, The Fall Before the Rise, now has 8 awesome PDF digital comics included if you back this project. #8 is Scarlet Huntress, The Tales Through Time by Sean and Steph Forney. So super
Wow.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Totally excited about that. I know it's definitely not what anybody was expecting, but Sean and Steph have been pumping out some pretty good stuff lately. I know they did the book with Rodney and several other artists. I think Travis was one of the artists that was a part of that. I don't know. There was a ton of them that worked on Scarlet Huntress' Field Guide to Cryptids and Other Creatures that just ended, I want to say, like 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I'm really excited about that. Scarlet Huntress is an awesome book. Tales Through Time will be the 8th title now that will be added for PDF for digital download. So I will date that later tonight, and we will definitely spread the news. I'm going to take me off of full screen now. So I'm super excited about that. And that's the nice thing about indie, guys. If this was Marvel or DC, you wouldn't see other creators reaching out and saying, "Hey, here's a book from my titles. You know, I'll throw it in there, try to help get this thing off the ground." And you know what? That really shows the love and that indie creators do what they can to help each other. And I freaking love that so much. And you know, a lot of these guys have read the book. Some of them have, some of them haven't. And you know, it's nice to know that I have the support, whether they've read the book or not. They're willing to put their stuff out there to try to help me get it off the ground, and that means the world to me. You don't get a lot of that, you know, anywhere else. And these people are super, super sweet and awesome, and that just blows me away that people are nice enough to do stuff like that. And you know, I don't know. Sorry, I don't mean to get all mushy on you guys, but that just blows me away, man. I really appreciate all the help all these guys are doing. It's really
It's a
awesome.
good thing to get mushy over. I mean, it's a good thing to be grateful.
I'm just blown away.
Most definitely.
Well, and I mean, I asked a few creators. I was like, "Hey, you know, how would you feel about, you know, maybe we can offer a couple of digital titles?" And you know, I didn't even have to really go into anything. They're like, "Sure, you know, which book do you want?" And it's like, you know, which book do you want to do? Like, this is totally you. And they're like, "Oh, we'll do this book." And so, what went from something being small, like, okay, we'll get a couple of books together. I got 8 already, and I'm like, you know, blown away at that. And so hopefully we can light a fire on this. Excuse me, and get this thing off the ground because I'm excited. I can't wait to get this book into people's hands. I mean, this has been a life's work for me. I've always been creative. I love coming up with stories, and I truly 1,000% believe in the story that almost anybody that reads it is going to be in love with it and enjoy it. It's not just a sci-fi book, and that's the thing. You know, you look at it and you're like, "Oh, it's another sci-fi book." Everybody does sci-fi, and it's more than that. You know, and Philip Russert couldn't have put it any better. It's a human story. You know, and as a father or, you know, anybody that's a kind of a family person, if you read the book, you can really relate to the characters and relate to, you know, the things that are happening to Raziel. And it really helps to shape and mold him as a character. And like he says, you know, there's subtle hints throughout the book. You know, this shit still bothers Raziel. It's not like, you know, other books or movies and stuff. Either A, you get it where they beat you over the head with it. You're like, I'm so tired of this guy being, you know, upset over this, you know, it's over the top. Or you get the ones that are like, this really bad thing happens to this guy, and you know, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm cool now. I'll never think about it again." And like, you never see it again. You're like, what the hell? You know, this guy just watched his wife and kids get murdered, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm cool. We're gonna mosey on through life and never think about this again." So, you know,
I mean,
really,
if you're medicated enough.
yeah, if you are.
Oh no! Oh no!
So, so I'm super proud of the book. I really am. You know, somebody asked me that the other day. Are you proud of the book? And I have to say I'm very proud of the book. I liked it back when I finished it 5 years ago, and with the rewrite that I did on it and the 60% of material, I mean, there was an entire from chapter 3 all the way to chapter 8 was a complete rewrite. Like, I scrapped all of it and started over, and I think the story grew, and it really helped. You know, me being a father, that was what was really cool about it. Is, you know, when I originally wrote the book, I didn't have kids, so I didn't have that interaction on a daily basis. You know, we had our niece and nephew for weeks at a time. They would come and stay with us because they enjoyed staying with us throughout the summer, throughout the year when they were on break or Christmas break. They came in and stayed with us, and we spoiled them. And but it's not the same as having kids. And it's like once we had kids, and the interaction that Roderick and Adriana have with me every day, I was able to pour that into the story, and it was a lot of fun doing that. So I'm super excited about it. What did he say? This is not safe for work material. Corey just sent me something. We got to go look at this. Oh boy. What did we get ourselves into? So, like I said, I'm super proud of the book. I don't think it could get much better. I know I have room to grow as a writer, and that's the great part about doing the whole indie process. Okay, well, we just added a 9th PDF.
Who is it this time? Who won the lucky 9 spot?
So number 9, the lucky number 9 spot is. You guys are gonna love this one. Everybody's gonna love this one. The 9th PDF that's being added on, that does contain some not safe for work material, which a lot of the other titles do contain, is Sister Mercy number 1 from Corey Hardiman.
Nice.
He just.
That's awesome.
That is super cool. Because we just backed Sister Mercy 3. And besides the fact that I'm on SteamYard and I can't put the thing up in the chat, that Kickstarter's running, and I believe we ordered both the 1 and 2 issues too. So now we'll get to read it probably before that comes out. Kickstarters take a long time.
Yeah, Kickstarter takes a long time, but that's the nice thing about this. So we've got 9
It just
titles.
depends. It just depends on the Kickstarters. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't bring you guys back out. Sorry about that. I was reading the message. I was telling them thank you very much. So that's the nice thing about this. So everybody's going to have to wait a couple of months until the books get printed. I mean, everything's done. The art's done. I have the art in hand. Most of it's scanned. I haven't scanned all of it into high res for the art book or for the book itself, which I can do that at any time. I got a place up the road that does it for like 11 cents a piece. So it's super easy. But everything is done. Everything is in hand. The edited version of the book is in hand. You guys are back in a fully completed project that all I'm going to have to wait on is the slow ass shipping people. And, in case if there's any shutdowns or anything, that could be really the only thing that holds me up. But as far as stretch goals and stuff like that go, you guys are back in a fully finished project. And what's really cool is now that, we have all these people adding in these books, this is giving you guys something to read now. If this book funds on Thursday, once the money's received after 2 weeks and all the backers that make it through, their pledges come through, these will be books that you guys will have then. It'll be probably about a month before I get the digital copy of Xenonanite Titan out, because I'm still making some final changes to that. And like I said, I got to figure out for the digital copy that I'm going to share in the PDF how I'm going to put the art in it. That's going to be one of the goals. I'm looking over how to do all that fun stuff now. So Katrina, my editor, hooked me up with the program to be able to do that. But, that's what's going to be awesome. So now we have 9 titles, everybody. 9 titles. We just added Scarlet Huntress, what is it? Adventures Through Time, and Travels Through Time, and Corey Hardiman, Sister Mercy. 2 new titles. And these people are freaking blowing me away. It's awesome. I really appreciate the support, guys, and trying to help push this over the top. I really do.
Too bad you can't give them a fist bump right now.
Yeah, fist bump.
Stupid freaking COVID.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, COVID's a mixed bag of tricks. I mean, sucks to not really be able to go outside and see everybody you want to see, but it really pushed a lot of the online stuff. I've been doing a role playing game online. I've never did that before in my life. I never thought I would. I mean, if I'm going to be online, I'm going to play World of Warcraft or something like that. Neverwinter. Nope. Now I'm actually gaming with my friends that I know in real life on the computer. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that is crazy. And that was the fun thing back when I was in high school, was doing LAN parties, man. That was the jam right there. I had my own home built computer, and that was back when Unreal Tournament came out. I think the last LAN party that I went to, we were playing the original Quake Arena, and I think it was maybe 2004. I think Unreal Tournament 2003 just came out, because those are my jams right there. Those arena games, like, I tear shit up, man. I blow through there just like giving everybody. There's body parts flying across the screen in chunks, and I'm just laughing because you got the rocket launcher and you're just loading up 3 rounds at a time and just launching them. I mean, that Quake Arena was my jam. That and Unreal Tournament, and I freaking would have the volume just like maxed out, where you have headshot, double kill, multi-kill, and you get up to like 5 kills in a row within like 10 seconds. It would go, holy shit, holy shit, and I would just laugh my ass off.
Yep.
I mean, oh man,
I really miss those games.
I do too. They've like died off, man. You know, you can still get it on the computer. Quake released a new version of Quake, and I really want to try it out bad, but here's my problem. You know, my homebrew computer, the last one that I had, it bit the dust, and you know, it just gets annoying. You buy a video card, and you know, you spend $300-400 on a video card, and then 6 months later it's obsolete. You buy a game and it's like, oh, this video card's not compatible with this game, and then like every other game comes
That's if
out
you
like
get
that.
6 months out of it.
Yeah, if you get 6 months. I mean, you buy it the first day, the next day it's obsolete. And so it crashed, and so I quit PC gaming. You know, that's when I got big back into console gaming, which I'm super excited for Cyberpunk 2077. I cannot freaking wait to play it. I unfortunately don't have the money to buy it, and I ended up having enough points at work to purchase an Amazon gift card. So I'm at the mercy of Amazon because I'm so cheap. I use the free shipping option that I think I'm going to get at Christmas Eve. And I bought it like a week before the release date. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like there's an Amazon literally an hour from my house in freaking Maryland. No, it is in Maryland Heights. It's in Maryland Heights, Missouri. It's like 45 minutes from my house. There's like an Amazon hub. So I'm like, I know.
You're like, I could have drove right down there and picked it up myself.
Yeah, I mean, like you know, they have them in all the warehouses because every state's going to have them at the warehouse. That's our only Amazon warehouse. At least Kansas probably has copies of the game in house. And you know what? It launched on the 10th. I still don't have my game yet. Like, what the fuck, Amazon? Like, I'm just going to put it out there right there. Like, I know I'm cheap and I use the free shipping option, but I know these warehouses have to have this game. I want my freaking game. Okay? End of rant.
I'm pretty spoiled. I have Amazon Prime, and they do pretty good. I mean, even with the COVID craziness, if I wait 5 days for something from Amazon, I call them up and ask them what's wrong.
Dude,
usually it's a couple days.
Man, I had Prime back at the beginning of the year before we went for broke with everything going on, and I ordered the Castle. No, they're not Castle. I don't know what brand they are. They're like a mid-grade artist brand of the colored pencils, the ones that I use to make the stuff full pieces. And they're like, oh, yeah, this item's in stock. Here's your free 2-day Prime shipping. And I was like, sweet, I'll have these on Thursday. And now, mind you, this was like in February, like when shit was kind of hitting the fan. I was at home and I was doodling and making, coming up with artwork for my book because I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm starting the company. I'm starting everything. I'm going to get some colored pencils. I'm going to do some mock-up art, even though it's going to be stick figures and it's going to be really shitty art. And I'm like, I'm going to buy these super sweet, expensive-ass colored pencils that are like $40. Because in my mind, $40 is expensive. And I know these artists buy like $400 or $500. I mean, like Copics. Like, holy shit. Have you guys ever seen like a 10-pack of Copics? It's like, oh, yeah, these are $179.99. I'm like, they're freaking markers, okay?
Yeah.
But, so like my mind, I'm like, holy shit, $45, colored pencils. These are like mid-grade. These are going to be really freaking sweet. And so I'm like, oh, I'll have these at the end of the week. Dude, I got them in like freaking July. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like they showed up like at the end of June.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they showed up at the end of June or beginning of July. And I was like, thanks a lot, Amazon Prime shipping. Like, I'm like, what the hell? You know, it was ridiculous. My wife was laughing because I'd be like, hey, did my colored pencils come today? And she's like, no, who knows where they are? Oh, God.
Well, no. You knew where they were. They hadn't left the warehouse.
Yeah, you know, just like my freaking Cyberpunk 27. Oh, do you remember my game? Which I guess is kind of cool because I'm off. Our company gives us Christmas Eve off, so I'll be off Thursday and Friday. So you know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be raging out at the door, waiting for my UPS.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, USPS better freaking bring it on Christmas Eve. Like that's going to be my Christmas present. It's going to be open before it gets off the freaking mail truck because I'm going to be like a ninja. I'm going to be hanging upside down from the top of his freaking mail truck like, yo, give me my game, Holmes. About to bust this out. It better be installed in my PS4 already before you even get here.
Oh,
That is the worst thing about games too. Can we
Yeah,
talk about that for a minute? You buy a freaking game.
Yeah.
You spend $60 on it. You get it home. Like literally, you could have it 5 minutes after the freaking game store opens at midnight, the day that it launches. You could get it, and there's already an update. Like what the hell? You guys are
Yeah.
printing this
Yep.
game, and it's
Yeah, I
not
was gonna
even
bring up-
complete.
it's going to install
Yeah.
then. It's going to be like, thank you. You
Yeah,
have
thanks.
4 hours of download.
Yeah. So, like, you know, that's the thing that pisses me off about Arc. Every time Arc updates, dude, it's like 50 or 60 gigabytes because, like, they re download the entire package for the game.
Yep.
So, like, we'll play Arc and we'll be playing on there, you know, and then we won't play it for a month or two. And then I'll go on vacation. My wife's like, do you want to play Arc? I'm like, yeah, I guess. And this is the only reason why we play it on vacation. My wife doesn't play video games, she never really did. And then we started playing Borderlands, and that's what got her into video games. So we've played through 1, 2, and 3, and the pre-sequel and all that. But we get Arc, and I got it on Black Friday, the year that it came out. We get it home, I install it. I'm like, this is like one of the dumbest games I've ever seen. Like, I'm sitting there playing it, and I didn't really like it at first. And then I kind of understood how the game mechanics operated. I was like, this game's super sweet. And then I figured out you could put in cheat codes and, like, make rocket launchers and shit. So of course I'm blowing up trees left and right, and you know dinosaurs just blowing them up because it's not Rust Explode Studios without blowing something up. But my wife's like, this game looks kind of fun, so we started the Arc addiction. Like literally, like Roderick was like wasn't even a year old. I think maybe he was. Maybe we had both kids when it came out. I don't really remember this, but like the first night I got on there and she played it with me, we played it for like till 5 o'clock in the morning. I look over, it was like 5 a.m. I'm like, holy shit, the kids are gonna be up in 3 hours. We need to go to bed. And so like every time we play Arc, that's what ends up happening. We you know, you spend so much time building these freaking encampments and buildings, and you know, then you build the dino what the hell do I call it? I don't even remember. But you build the mating pens because you can mate the dinosaurs and then breed yourself new dinosaurs and all kinds of cool shit like that. And so, you know, we started that problem. But it's like you get the game, you spend $60, you get home. Not only is it going to take 4 hours to freaking install on the hard drive, you get done, you're like, yes, we're going to play this. Oh, there's an update. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? How in the hell?
And it's bigger. Yeah, it's a bigger update than the install.
Yeah. It's like you
Because
got
it has to reinstall everything. That's stupidly insane.
Yeah, and it's like, are you freaking kidding me? And it's like we really need to start pushing. You know, if there's something that we really need to like put an eye on, and everybody just to be pissed off about and do something about, it's these game companies pushing these games out to get the money for them before they're even finished. I mean, like Borderlands 3. We'll talk about that for a quick second. I love the Borderlands franchise. Don't get me wrong. I love Borderlands. The games are awesome. They're fun. They have so much replayability. But I'm sorry, Borderlands 3
The quirkiness of all the characters. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 was the biggest turd I've ever seen released for a console game in my entire life. It was broken to the point that for the first 6 months you couldn't even play the game. Like every time you'd get on there, it'd be like, oh, there's an update. Oh, hot fixes applied. You get in there. Like, we'd be playing 2-player, and we'd be in the middle of a mission. It would just shut down and go to blue screen. Sorry, something has happened. And I'm like, you know, I've sent them message after message. I was like, hey, you know, we bought this game because it's a co-op game. My wife and I have played every single one of the games you guys have released. The expansion packs. Because I bought the Borderlands 3 Gold Pass, where you get every single add-on pack as they come out.
Yeah.
Well, now they've gotten greedy and they're like, oh, we're going to make a season pass 2. So now any
Yeah.
other add-on that comes out after this, you have to buy season pass 2. Even though you spent $100 on a turd and believed in us and stood by for a year while we worked on it, to where now it's a
Mhm.
year later, 2 months ago, and it's almost playable. So that's my thoughts on Borderlands 3. Hey, we're talking true talk, man. I don't filter into it.
No. It's good. I don't understand why more people not or don't buy games when they come out at this point, because it's insane. Why are we paying full price for a game that isn't finished? And they want to say, "Oh, well, we want to raise the prices, and we also want to have all this extra expanded world." It's like, well, why don't you finish the game first? And on top of which, why is that expanded world just a small little digital lock on your game that we don't have access to?
Yeah,
It makes no sense.
On launch day.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, you can buy this expansion pack on the day that it launches. It's like, that should be included in the game if it's already done. Totally 100% agree on that. You hit on another thing that irks me to death. Like, I don't know how many times that happens. Like on Far Cry. Or let's talk about the other problem, that you buy a game and you legitimately want to play the game, and you got some asshat on the other end of the freaking United States that's like, gets on there and there's like $149 unlock pack where they can unlock all the weapons, all the freaking body armor, all the super attachments,
Mhm.
and they get like this insta kill knife that they can stab you with from 600 feet away through concrete walls, and
Yep.
you're legitimately trying to play the game. Like, what the hell, you know? Why do you think people are going to buy your game and want to play it when you get on there and people can do that kind of stuff? I mean, I think that's insane. And the matchmaking of games back in the day was 1,000 times better than it is now. Like, I don't know what we did that it regressed into such a freaking disaster, but like, I don't even remember what. I think it was Call of Duty World War II. It was one of the PlayStation Plus free games of the month. So I downloaded. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try, because I don't really play online games anymore because most of them suck. And I get on there and I'm like, yeah, this will be fun. And, I'm in a freaking match with everybody. They're like level 45 and 50, and I'm like level 2. I'm running around with like these half-assed weapons, and I'm like,
Mhm.
pew, pew. And they're like, you're dead. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Or you start shooting them first, they turn around, and then they shoot
Instant.
you like once, and you're instant kill.
Yeah, instant kill. And it's like, how did we regress so badly in games that, like, back in the day, it would be like, we're finding a match for you. And it would put you in a match, and everybody was either a level above or a level below you. It's like, now you get into it, and it's like, we're finding a match to suit you. And you get in there, and it starts populating. You're like, Russ Explode, level 3. I'm going to get you, level 1,942. And you're like, all these people start populating.
Or you get the people that restart their level over again.
Yeah, they prestige.
And so they have all this stuff on lock. Yeah.
Yeah, they prestige.
Mhm.
And so you get on there and you're like, you're watching the list populate and you're just going, oh my God, what did I get myself into? So I found a meme like not too long ago. It's on my phone. I'll have to post it. It's hilarious, but it's like me in a nutshell. Like, I used to play games online till like 1:00 in the morning. Then I'd get up and go to work, and then I had kids, and you can't do that stuff anymore, unfortunately, because it wears you out. And
Yeah.
now it's me. Like, I'll get on and I'll be like, maybe I'll play online tonight. And it shows this little guy open the door to the cage, and he walks out, and he just gets punched right in the face. And then it shows him in the box. Single player it is. That's me, totally, completely. Like, it's so funny. And I do get online and play some stuff online. Like, man, back in the day when Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out, I love Bad Company 1. Like, me and Nathan and
That was a
Mark.
great game.
Oh, it was a great game. Like, it was so much fun. You actually went in as a squad, and you could squad up with 3 of your friends. And, you know who I was. I was the demolition guy. And then, we'd have Mark with support, and we'd have his friend Doug would be Sniper, or Dustin would be Sniper, and Nathan would be, one of the other packages, and we'd go in there. Well, then Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out. It was even better because the cool thing about that was it was anti-sniper. It was anti-camper. Because, like, literally there'd be a building.
That, and they added more destruction to it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting ready to say. So, me, first thing I do in every single game is, can I blow shit up in it? So, like, Red Faction was, like, the first game that ever came out in the world that I'm like, I'm buying this the day it comes out. Like, I'm going to buy it, like, a year before it comes out. I'm going to pre-order this. Because, so, like, you can blow everything up. And they weren't lying. Like, literally, I blew tunnels that were, like, miles long through Mars. And I'm like, I would find other parts of the level, like a shortcut through the levels randomly. That would take you like 40 minutes later in the game, and you could skip a bunch of stuff. And so, that Battlefield Bad Company 2 comes out, and I'm like, let's see how destructible it is. They say that you can destroy the whole world. So here's me with C4 charges, planting them on all corners of the building. That's got like 6 or 7 snipers in it. And then it's like they're all squatted up and they're shooting everybody. They're like, ha, we're winning. Here's me running across the thing. Ha, fuckers. Boom. And it's like Rust Explode, collapse the building, and boom, sniper dead. Boom, sniper dead. But I was like, yes, this is what every game needs. Why doesn't Call of Duty have this? Where you can like freaking these people that hide out in there and they don't want to
camp in those,
yeah. So
because they're guarded by walls that you can't shoot through, but somehow they're able to shoot through them.
Yeah. So what kind of role-playing games do you play, Mike?
I don't play as many computer games as y'all do. I play Pathfinder and Starfinder. And when I find a group, I play Vampire the Masquerade a lot. They're all just you sit down with friends and roll dice and stuff. I played some computer games. I'm not good at anything that's shooter games. So about basically everything you said, I'm like, oh no. I get motion sick if it's first person.
Oh man, you'll get motion sick if you play with my wife. Like, I always laugh about it. It's a running joke. Like my buddy Mark used to come over before we had kids. Mark and Dustin would come over and we'd play couch co-op. Back when games were good and they didn't force you to play online, like 99.9% of them do now. That's my other complaint. Bring back couch co-op. That's the most fun. We want to.
That's why I love Borderlands for that exact reason.
Yeah, and you know what? And now on the 5, they released it. Now you can do 4 instead of 2. But all these games, you get some that offer the couch co-op, but not a lot of them do it anymore. And that was what was so much fun. And that was when Tiffany, my wife, would get on and play with us. And like she would be the one you would see just spinning around, just shooting at everything, just bullet holes all over the walls. And I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? And she's like, I'm like, do you have the spray and pray technique going on here or what?
More spray. We're not gonna pray. We're just gonna hope it hits something eventually.
Yeah, eventually. And then like 5 minutes later, it's like I'm out of ammo. What do I do? I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
I did play.
Well, I mean,
World of Warcraft and games like that. Several like Dungeons and Dragons type games. Those were fun.
Yeah, like
they definitely are.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun dungeon games too, like Gauntlet and what's the name of the other one?
Trish loves Gauntlet, but that's one that we can just play here at the house mostly.
Final Fantasy.
Trish plays some Final Fantasy, but not the newer stuff. Diablo played tons of Diablo.
That's what I was trying to think of. For some reason, I had Belial on the brain. I'm like, it's not Belial, damn it. I'm like, Diablo. That's it. Brain fart.
Yeah, they're all pretty good games. Hours of mindless fun.
Yeah. Well, and it's fun too because board games are fun to play, but Jack played Monopoly the other day during the live stream. Sometimes those games can go on for hours, and then you got to leave them lay out on the table and figure out a time to finish them. And that's what's fun about video games. You can get on there, you can play for a little while, put it up, and enjoy the story later on. And
Well,
it
unless
kind
you're
of,
playing a Japanese RPG, for instance, then not so much.
yeah. Yeah, especially when you get to those cutscenes, you're like, "Oh, I'll play a little bit more," and they're like, "Oh, here's a cutscene," and then 45 minutes later, you're still watching the cutscene. It's like, "Oh my god, dude, I need to go to bed. Is this saved yet?"
It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to work. God damn it!
Life rolls on. I gotta go.
Yeah, and that's what sucked about Xenogears. You know, one of my favorite role playing games back on the PS1 was Xenogears, and that's one of the things that I have a throwback to on my webpage. You know, some of the things that inspired me. You know, Xenogears had a phenomenal story, and you know, it's one of those games that you have to play, and it was so underrated. It came out around the same time as Final Fantasy VII did.
Yep.
And everybody's like, "Oh, I love Final Fantasy VII. I love Final Fantasy VII." And I'm like, "Here I am. I'm playing Xenogears." I'm like, "Dude, this game's freaking sweet." I mean, I like Final Fantasy VII, but I'm really into this game. And I think my save game on it's like 149 or it's around 150 hours that I had to play the game. But it was really sad. The guy that created the game, they cut him short on it, and so like you get the disc too, and you're like, oh, you know, there's gonna be, you know, X amount left of the game, and it's gonna be super sweet. And you know, back then the internet, you know, wasn't really big, so we didn't have internet at home, so I didn't have the ability to look up and find out the whole second disc is nothing but video. So it's like you get to this point in the game, you beat this mega boss and you finish what you're supposed to do and you find out the truth behind how you ended up on this planet. And then it's like it goes to this cutscene that's like 3.5 hours long. And like every hour, I think is what it is, it asks you, would you like to save and come back later? And I'm like, how long is this?
Yeah. But during the same time that Xenogears and Final Fantasy is my favorite, which is Legends of Dragoon.
Yes, Legends of Dragoon's another great game. Hey Trish, thanks for joining us. Yeah, Legends of Dragoon was awesome too. And Parasite Eve, that was another great game. You know,
Yep.
it took the
Another good
elements
one.
of Resident Evil and mixed it in with other shooting games, and it was awesome how you could like take and change the functions of your guns. Like you could have a gun that shot explosive projectiles and that also caused acid damage. And like
Yep.
every time you would do something to a gun, it would alter something, and sometimes it would just break it, and you'd be like, "Oh man, that was a great gun," until I tried to do that. Now I can throw it at people.
I also think Borderlands had a little pull from Parasite Eve.
I do too. I think so too. And at least in the
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but like Resident Evil, like I could not it could not go in my mind to do it backwards. I couldn't even move the character or anything like that. I just like, I don't know, not understand that. And then finally, after like the sixth one, they're like, Trish, you know, you can just put it back to like normal. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, 4 was the first one to change the controls. Then 5, 6, 7, there you can invert them if you need to and whatnot. But yeah, the original 3, they're stuck in those thing controls.
Yep.
I love
Granted, with remakes now, that not so much, but those were great fun games. Except for 3, I still do not like 3. I hate Nemesis. It's the dumbest thing because it's like it's a cool trope that he follows you the entire game, but after you've beaten the game so many times, you have so many things unlocked, like the grenade launcher, which you can kill him in one shot at the end of the game. You can shoot him, and it just slows him down, barely, and while he's still chasing you. It's like, but then why does it kill you at the end of the game? This makes no sense. At least if the game was like, okay, well, he's down for X amount of time, so you can roam around without him following you, that would have been cooler. But unfortunately, they didn't think of that.
Yeah.
That's
Well-
actually the one game that we still have the PlayStation Plus or whatever system it's for, and that's the only game we have is Nemesis. We don't
I know
have
a lot
any
of
other
people
games.
like it.
Nemesis was
That
still-
was just the one I disliked the most because of that. Because I played Resident Evils all the time.
Title, wasn't it?
No, Nemesis was 3. So you had Resident Evil, Resident Evil 2.
I'm saying Nemesis was still a PS1 game though, wasn't it? Wasn't it originally released on the 1?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was
released
PlayStation
on the 1.
Yeah, because I think it was 4 was the first one that was released on PlayStation 2. Or maybe it was Code Veronica. I think it was 4.
Code Veronica, 4, and what was the other one?
I don't know. There's been so
Why am
many
I
in
having a
between.
brain fart?
And then I know 5 came out on the 3.
Oh, 0.
0, yeah, that was the other one. That was one
I was
that,
like,
too,
how
that came out.
could I forget 0?
Yeah, and 0 was the one I think I got on for the GameCube because the Wii played the GameCube games, and I think I played 0 on the GameCube, or on the Wii, I mean, because I got it super cheap. It was like $3, and then I played it, and I realized why it was $3.
Well, they remade the GameCube versions for the GameCube, which was actually pretty cool because they added a little bit of here and there on some of the graphics and some of the controls, which made it a little nicer. It was kind of just like they did with Metal Gear Solid. They did the Twin Snakes on the GameCube, which the funny part of that was they added right before you fight Gray Fox, that hallway that you're going down, it's got pictures of Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and stuff like that on it, and on like the original because it was made by Sony instead. So
yeah, that's another game that kind of lost its way was Metal Gear. You know, any of the titles that have come out recently, I haven't ever really gotten into. Like the original one, I played the crap out of that, and I loved it. It was awesome. But after that, 2 and 3, I played those, and then I don't know. It's just after 4, I think the game really lost its way. I don't know.
Well,
maybe I
4
didn't give
was
enough
technically the end. So I mean, 5 he continued it, but he never really got to finish the game.
Yeah,
because Konami basically screwed him.
Yeah,
that's also kind of why I have this shirt right here.
Have you guys played that? I know you said you guys don't really play a whole lot of games, Mike, but have you played Death Stranding?
No, we're old school. Like, give me some Sonic, some Mario, and I'm happy as can be.
We played a few games.
Yeah, but those are like my cup of teas.
So Death Stranding is pretty much a walking simulator, though, because you're walking from place to place mostly. There's some other parts to the game, but that's what most people say that it is, and I've watched video of it, so that's pretty much mostly what it is. There's obviously story elements of what's happening through all the cutscenes and everything else, but you're mostly just walking one place to another.
Adult. Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about being an adult. Back when we were younger, like Sonic would come out, we'd go buy it. Sonic 2 would come out, we'd go buy it. Sonic 3 came out, and we'd buy like pretty much every other game that came out between it because games were cheap and we didn't really have responsibilities. So we're like, hell yeah, what is this game? I don't know. I'm gonna buy it and take it home. Oh, this game sucks. Here, let me go trade this in for another game. Back when what the heck were the names of those places? Funko Land,
Blockbuster, Funko, all the rental places.
Well, I'm talking like the places that GameStop bought out. Like, what was it? One of them was Funko Land. Was EB Games. Yep. Yeah, that was the other one. Yeah, so Funko Land,
Electronics Boutique. That was the last big one of their competition, anyways, that they bought.
Yeah, well, Sam Goody, you could sell your games to them too and get new games too. Sam Goody.
Yeah, and it used to be awesome.
We don't have stores like that anymore. Yeah.
No. And here's what the shitty part about it is GameStop put them all out of business and bankrupted and bought out most of those companies, and then they turned into the worst company in the world for games. Like, I don't care what anybody says, and if you hate me for it, I don't care because I'm 100% on this. Screw GameStop. I hate that place with a passion. You go in and you buy a $60 game, and then you're like, this game sucks ass. You go in and take it back, and they turn around and give you like $15 for it,
Mhm.
or you get $25 store credit, and then they put it on the shelf for $54.99 and resell it. I'm like,
Mhm.
screw you guys. And then
Yeah, that's business.
well, and they
That's
don't
how they
price
run their
match.
business.
They don't price match
No,
either.
no,
So if
they don't.
Walmart and Best Buy and Target is out of your game, and GameStop is the only place on earth that has your game in stock because everybody else is sold out of it, even if it's on sale for $29.99, you're still going to pay $60 for it at GameStop because they suck.
Yeah.
So speaking
Hey,
of
I
games,
worked there for 6 years. I should know.
did you guys get your PS5s this year already?
No,
No.
I don't even want to
Okay.
talk about it.
No, the only system that I've bought brand new straight off was the Wii. Other than that, I usually wait till the next iteration because I know whatever problems that are at the beginning. Plus, there's usually not that greatest of game selection at the beginning, so that way there's always more to look forward to of what you missed when you finally pick it up.
Like
At least that's
No,
my
I
opinion of it.
was like, don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't. There's no point in it when there's like 5 games out there. I'm like, don't waste your time. Don't waste your effort. It's not even worth it. If you got to get a game system for your kids, go with the Switch.
well, and see,
Yeah.
I
Go
want
with
the
PS4.
5 just because of the fact it's backwards compatible, and so like in
It's just
January,
down to 4, Russ.
what's that?
It only goes down to 4.
Yeah, I know it only goes
5
down to
and
4,
4.
but the thing is so like Borderlands 3 and Cyberpunk 2077,
Mhm.
all of those games in January, they're gonna. Well, I think Borderlands 3 is already on the 5, so the 5 ups it to 4-player co-op instead of 2-player co-op. The 4 you still can only do 2 players, but on the 5, since they've done the game and put it on the 5, you can do 4-player co-op on split screen, like the 1 and 2 were. And then
You just got to
Cyberpunk
have a
20
big enough screen.
yeah, you just got to have a big enough screen. And then Cyberpunk 2077 is also including free if you buy the game for the 4. When you get later on when you buy a 5, or if you have a 5, they're going to redo the game and put it on the 5, and they're going to planning on sometime supposedly mid-January, end of January, they're going to release it, and you can continue playing your game on the 5 with better graphics and yada 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 and all that stuff. I really wanted a 5. I'm not one of those people that I'll pre-order it and I'll go wait in line and I'll run all over God's green earth looking for it. But I will try to get one. But this year it's just not in the cards. There's like no way possible that we can afford to get a 5, and it'll probably be like this time next year before I'm able to afford it. And then that's the other thing too. Like you said, Jack, there's no games. I mean, yeah, sometimes they release a launch title with it, and there's like 3 or 4 games, which the launch titles for the PS5 look freaking amazing. Like I love Jack and Dexter, and I'm really, or not Jack and Dexter, Ratchet and Clank, same thing. It's in my mind. Ratchet and Clank is awesome, and
Basically.
that freaking new game looks badass, and I freaking want to play it so bad. But yeah, that's what I told my wife like back in March. I'm like, if there's anything that I want for Christmas, I want a PS5 when it comes out. And I'm like, so just put a little bit away all year long, and then 2020 happened and all the shit we've been through, and yeah, putting away money just doesn't happen this year. So I doubt we'll be getting it
Nope.
anytime soon. And the other issue is all the systems are breaking. So everybody's like, oh, what do you think about all the things with all the PS5s that are corrupting and going bad? So there's like 2 things that really suck about this. So for one, 50% at least of the owners of the PS5 right now bought them secondhand. So everybody ran out and ordered and bought like 5 or 10 systems, and then put them on eBay, put them on Facebook Marketplace, and sold them for way over what they paid for them. Well, so Joe Blow goes and buys this PS5 from this guy that is selling it for way overpriced, and then finds out that he has one of the systems that bricks itself after playing it for so long. And then what do you do? Like, if you don't have the original receipt, how do you prove that you bought it and it's under warranty?
You can't.
But you can't. So, I guess it was like 2 or 3 weeks after the 5 and the Xbox released, they were talking about all kinds of software issues. So, like the 5 on one of the games, if you put it in standby mode while playing this. I don't remember what game it was. Don't quote me on it, but on one of the release titles, if you played it and put it in standby mode so you could pick it up and play it later, it would brick the system. It would load up and it would completely brick the system to the point that it won't even power on. And they're like, so
Wow.
don't put your system in standby mode if you play this game. Don't do it. And the other thing that was really bad about them is there was people, posting videos about how hot the system gets because it literally would sound like there was a 747 flying through the room. And they're like 10 feet away from the PS5 and the fan's like, woo, and the CD-ROM drive. That was the other thing that everybody's talking about,
Yep.
the Blu-ray drive in it. They're saying it's winding up so fast, like they're scared the disc's going to come flying out of the system. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
but this is why you don't buy
buy
first
Gen
iterations
1.
of things.
Yes, this is why you don't buy Gen 1, you people. Do not buy Gen 1. Wait until the PlayStation 1 Slim comes out, or the PS2 Slim, or the PS3 Slim, or the PS4 Pro. That was the biggest freaking money grab right there, too, when they did the PS4 to the PS4 Pro. Because let me tell you, there's really not a whole lot of difference between them. The only reason I bought a new PS4 is because it was several years after the original came out. I have one of the original systems, and so I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to get the God of War one. It was right when God of War came out. So I got the God of War PS4 Pro, and the games do look really good, like Ark. We've played Ark on both systems, but the higher refresh rate on the games almost makes some of them unplayable because the graphics are just not meant to be that way.
Yeah, they can't keep up with the frame rates and stuff like that. So
Well, and that's
they
the
drop
thing.
frames.
It's like the game says, "Hey, this is PS Pro compatible," and then you play it on the PS Pro, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this looks terrible." So yeah, don't ever buy a Gen 1 system. If you can hold out, don't do it.
Well, especially from these jackasses who have bots that buy all the freaking systems and then resell at an insane price to people. It's like, make them go bankrupt. It's like, stop buying stuff from these people.
Yeah,
you
so
don't have to have it right now.
Yeah, you don't have to have it right now, and you don't have to put money in the pockets of these freaking sharks out there. And it's like that's one of the things that's so funny.
Mhm.
It's like I just wish for one of these people that bought 10 systems and spent like $6,000 on PS4s just sit on them for like a year and end up having to sell them for like $300 each just to get rid of them and be able to pay their own bills. And I know that's horrible to say, but it's straight up true.
Well, I
There's-
hate having to
there was
argue
a-
with them when
What's that,
when they come in,
Trish?
when they come into the store, and we get so many, and like I mean, I work at Sam's Club, so we can only get 5. We're not Walmart. We don't get a whole pallet of it. We get like 5 or 10, whatever. And it is one per person, and you have to go all the way through line. And like, I'm tired of arguing with these people. And somebody's like, I want 6 of them. Well, I'm sorry, it's one per person. Just like the packs of toilet paper, the packs of water, or whatever it is. It's like, quit hoarding all this stuff. It is one per person. You do not need 17 of them. There's no way.
I need
Well,
teeth for
and
my
that's what
bumhole.
Go ahead.
And that's what the pandemic is really showing a lot of too. Is you see a lot of these people, the true side of people, and it's like you have these ass hats that go out there and buy 600 packs of toilet paper and all the hand sanitizer and all the PS5s and the N4s and the Nintendo Switches. It's like it was super sad this year. There's so many kids that wanted Nintendo Switches for their birthday, or that probably want them for Christmas. But all these clowns went out and bought them because the factory shut down, which we'll talk about that where I was going with that with the PS5. So all the factories and stuff were shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't manufacture the parts for the Switch anymore. So yeah, they're not going to be able to crank out 100,000 units a week. Now they're down to like 1,000 units a week. So each store is getting one. And it's sad, that there's these people exist that go out and buy all this stuff up to try to capitalize on it. And unfortunately, people buy it, and so it keeps the system turning, and it never teaches them a lesson. But going back to the PS5, I think honestly, in all truth and reality, that is why all the PS5s are breaking, is because Sony's like, oh, we got to crank out these systems, and all the plants that are making our parts shut down. Can we buy it from anybody else? So you got all the systems that were truly made the way they were supposed to be, and every system made after it has these these parts will work in it. And so and really,
possible.
that's the other reason why I was like, yeah, even if I had the money, I probably wouldn't buy a Gen 1 PS5. And then you hear about all these problems, like, thank God I didn't have the money, because I probably would have been one of those suckers that got stuck with it.
Right.
You know how you were asking about Christmas and going overboard? Well, actually, I read something somebody wrote on Facebook this year. And normally I'm one of those go over the top kind of women for
Still
shopping.
there.
I'm still there. But this year
Nice.
I actually asked people, what do you need? Not what do you want? What do you need? And like my oldest daughter, she's like, I need a new pair of shoes, Mom. A really good pair of shoes for work. And my youngest told me, Mom, I really need some new bedding for my bed, because she doesn't live at home. She lives somewhere else.
All right,
So
wait,
Mom bought
wait.
them what they needed.
So you've got Kate like really good orthopedic shoes, right?
No, we got her Slytherin shoes.
Right. We got her Slytherin shoes. I'm not sure the need for the Slytherin is there. Okay. And
Hey,
you
hey,
got
there's
Tori,
always a need, Mike.
like a really nice thread count, blue sheets, right?
No, she got Hufflepuff.
Oh, the need for yeah. See, you told part of the story, but part of the story got left out. Yeah, it's still need. The kids are spoiled. I'm spoiled. The only one not spoiled in the house is you. So
That's not true. I'm sure she spoils herself.
no,
Yeah, that's not true. She
not
spoils
really.
herself with Big Dog Inc., right?
Well, she does occasionally say, "Can I buy this Steph Wilson something or other?"
Right. Yeah. I like my art books, but no, I'd rather spoil everybody else. I'm a giver. I'm not a good receiver. So typical mom, wife, you know what I mean? It's like give to the whole family and whatever. If I can get something for myself, great. But nah, Mike and the girls, I spoil them rotten.
And Steph,
Somebody has to.
That's right.
yeah, I lead a rough life.
Yeah, I know. My pampered husband.
And by the way, since we're back on the subject, so Russell, is your wife buying enough presents usually for Christmas that you can give a present a day?
Like for the 12 days of Christmas, or like all of December?
All of December. Because if you're reaching that territory, then yeah, there's a definite problem.
Yeah. Well, and the problem is like, we always I gotta go real quiet about this. So because
No.
there's a room
Here.
next door and he's sick,
Here.
so he might be awake. So we always buy, like, the big stuff is always from us, because we don't want our kids to ever go to school and be like, oh, I got a PS5 for Christmas, like, for example. And then like some other kid got a freaking stocking cap and mittens and clothes, and then to feel like, they're worthless piece of crap because Santa only brought them that, so they must not be a very good kid. So we always get like, pajamas and like a movie. We do like a little Santa basket with like candy and a movie and stuff like that for Christmas Eve. And then
Make
on
it fun, right?
Yeah, and then on Christmas Day, they get something. They get one toy that they really wanted from Santa, something small, like last year I think it was a Paw Patrol fire truck was last year, and so like we do like something small from Santa, and then like a set of PJs, and then like the big stuff comes from us, like whatever the big thing is. Like if we get them one of the, like last year we got Sissy a play kitchen, and well, no, Nana bought her the play kitchen. We got her the checkout set. And so that big stuff always comes
Nice.
from us. And so a lot of my wife's problem is she buys all these small gifts. So like, like the floor puzzles, like, oh, these are only $8.99. They're regularly $40. This is a good deal. So she'll buy them like a month before Christmas. Then she forgets about it. And then like the next time she's at the store, she's like, oh, these activity sets are really cool. They're like on sale for $11.98. And I'll look at it and I'll be like, yeah, and they're regularly $11.99. Like, you're saving a penny. What the hell? Like, my wife will really, like, sometimes she finds good deals, and sometimes she finds those deals that I just go, the reason why I say it, because it's really funny. It did happen at Target. We were there and we were looking at something on the end cap, and she's like, "Hon, I really want to get this. This is on sale. I've really been wanting this." I was like, "Yeah, how much is it?" And it was like $44.98. And I looked at it on the regular price on the app, and I was like, "It's regularly $49.99. Like, you're saving a penny." She's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, well, we can wait on it then." I was like, but yeah, for small gifts, she
Yeah, but
does
see,
have a
that's
problem.
Walmart's.
Their tactics.
That's what
exactly.
Walmart has done for years. Is take off a penny, 2 pennies if somebody else has it on sale as well. You know, it's like
Holds
you're
back.
saving a couple of pennies in the long game. Sure, that will save you money, but for that right here and now, you're not really saving anything because taxes.
Well, yeah, and that's the funny thing. Walmart's always 98 and Target's always 99 on everything. So Walmart's like, haha, we're gonna beat you by a penny on everything. Like, it's gonna really make a difference.
Yep.
And that's been the whole lie the whole time. Everything's always $13.99 or $99.99 because $99.99 sounds better than $100. So people get the mind screw with the whole thing, and they'll buy it because it's like it's under $100. So you're not spending a whole lot of money. But if Walmart had that for $102.98, people wouldn't buy it. But with putting $99.98 on it or $99, you get 50% more sales out of it because it doesn't seem so bad. It's insane the way that these people spend the money on the research and this stuff. Like, it gets down to even to the point. So like when we were like, you learn some really crazy inside things when you're doing blasting for a living. So whenever I blasted for edge drilling and blasting, the new Walmart they put in over in Washington, which is a town over from me, these idiots were out there. So we were doing trenching with nitro, and we were going through and blasting the trenches out to put all their sewer lines and all their stuff in. And I think it took us like a good solid month to do all the blasting because we were doing small sections at a time. Because where the Walmart was being built, there was a subdivision up on the hill, and where the hillside was, they were trying to break it out with chippers. So the first time that we go out there, like I said, it was a span of a month. They're out there ting 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 with these little chippers trying to chip away at the rock and get down to the level where we were because they were going to put the parking lot there. Well, at the end of the month, they maybe had moved this far across this whole area, chipping this rock out, and we're laughing at them because we're like,
Jesus.
dude, we could drill this out and blast this and be done in like one
Just
day.
blast that
gone.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be gone. I mean, you got these idiots. There's 3 of them up there just tinking away all day, ting 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 ting, and not to mention it was super annoying for us because we're out there working and that's all we hear all day. And so, we were in there and they were pouring
And
the
it's
floor.
really loud, I'm sure.
Oh my God, it's really loud. So we were inside the Walmart building. They were pouring the floor. They spent this money on super expensive money on paving the floor on the inside. And so the guy's talking to us. He's like, "Hey, we're going to pave this today. Is your blasting, is it going to be safe for us to do this?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's going to be safe for you to do it." And they're like, "Oh, okay, good." Well, I happened to talk to the guy that was doing the flooring. He's like, "Yeah, the way they laid this floor out, they did some research and they found out if they put the slits in the floor so far apart, it would pace the customers and slow them down walking through the store. Like the rhythm of the cart going toot 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 toot. Like they found that if they spaced it out this far, it would cause you to slow down and see more items. Like, who freaking thinks of stuff like
Jesus
that?
Christ.
I'm like, I can't make it up. It's a true story. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm the whole time now when I walk through stores, I'm like listening to the how the floor is paced out and if it really is true or not.
Well, that's like a casino. You know why the casino has the ugly rug? Because it makes it more comforting for you and it makes you want to relax there. And yeah, I mean, these people get paid millions of dollars to do this kind of investigation. Yeah, I can talk investigation on what goes on in your brain and how you perceive stuff and what makes it more appeasing to you. Because it's like,
Trish,
oh, well,
we're not
I
going to
just
fault you
spent
on that.
well, no, but like, okay, yeah, you just spent $1,000, but now you get this free buffet. Oh, well, that's okay now. I'll spend $1,000, but I get a free buffet.
Yep. Yeah, and I know a lot of people that do that. You get the free hotel stay, or Or you get the really cool ones where they're like, oh, well, if you spend this much in this much amount of time, you get a free hotel stay. But you can use it anywhere in the United States. We have one here. We got one in Tunica, Mississippi, and here. And so people are like, oh, cool. So I get a free vacation, and it's like, so they get mind jumbled into spending all their money at the casino just so they can take this trip to Mississippi and give them more money.
That would get you.
Well, it's also like timeshares in that sense too.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Trish?
No, it would definitely get me. I would be like, okay, that sounds good. Do you want to do it? Then I'd be like, yeah, I would do it. I'm gullible like that.
Well, and see, talking about casinos, it's really funny. My wife and I, if they say opposites attract, and that's the whole saying, it's totally true. So, like, my wife likes country music. I like alternative rock, heavy metal, rap, all that stuff, and she likes country music. And when it comes to casinos, we are total opposites. So my wife will go in there and, she'll win like $100 on a machine and she'll blow it all back into the machine thinking, oh, I'm going to hit big. Me, I walk up, I take $20 to the casino with me. We haven't been in like 5 or 6 years, but back when we used to go, I would take like $20 or $40 with me. Like, I kid you not, we went to this one up on the south side of St. Louis. I can't remember the name of it. River City Casino. That's what it is. Went to River City Casino, and the only reason we were there is because her mom had free night stay there, and it was my wife's birthday, so it was in November, and that was when we found out the sex of Roderick. So it was like in 2014. I have really weird memory of everything. I remember everything. So we were doing the reveal to her mom of Roderick being a boy. And so I took like I said, I took like 20 or 40 bucks with me, and we go downstairs, and I was like, oh, I'll play this, maybe we can win some of the money to get the stuff to furnish Roderick's room with. And so I go down there, and I'm one of those people that I'll float. I'll play a few times in a machine, and I'll go to the next machine. I'll cash out, stick it in the next machine, play a few times, and I float until I hit the machine that wins. And then when I win, I take it. So I did my thing. I went in, played a few times. Now this machine's not going to hit. I was like, ooh, I think this machine will be really good. I stuck it in there. I accidentally did a higher bet on it than I wanted to. It was like a $6 bet, and I won like $240, like $248 something. I'm like, cash out. I took it, got my money, and it went in my wallet, and I'm done for the day. Oh, I'm not playing again. But my wife, she'll go in there and she'll be like, play 20 bucks, win 200 bucks, and pour every single bit of it back in. So it's really funny, after that had happened. Before Roderick was finally born, we went back again, and she was like, well, here, I won $100. Here's my $100. Hold on to it. Don't let me have it, even if I ask you for it. So I was like, oh boy, here we go. This is a trap. So like, no joke.
That's a trap, and you cannot win.
No. And it wasn't even 15 minutes. She's like, hey, can I have like $20 out of the 100? That's all I'm going to ask you for. And I'm like, no. She's like, I just want 20 of it. It's my money. I was like, no. You told me no. I'm like, you don't tell me to tell you no and then give it to me and not expect them to tell me no. So like, I've never lived it down to this day that we went to Lumiere and she won $100, and she could have won big on this one machine because she had this feeling, but I wouldn't let her play it. I was like, but you still got $100 out of it. I'm like, man. So yeah, it's funny. We're total opposites, and it's just hilarious because she'll go and she'll blow every bit of it back in, and she'll be all sad puppy dog walking out, and I'm just all smiles because I'm like, yep, I put 20 bucks in, I won 140, and I walk away. I might spend 2 more spins, and I'm like, I'm done. But she's just like, come on. Uh-oh, I'm out of money.
I mean, if you take 20 bucks, you hit a jackpot, you cash out, and if you've hit like say $100, all right, cool. I can take 20 bucks and just throw it back into this to waste time while I wait for whoever else I'm with. But other than that, don't spend anymore.
Well,
that's
the funny
the
thing.
Key.
Well, and that's the funny thing. Before kids, it was like, sweet, I can buy this game now. Like I won like 70 bucks. And then there was this game that I really wanted. And I was like, I won 70 bucks. This was like probably the year before. I won 70 bucks on one of the machines. And I was like, cash out. We're going to GameStop on the way home and buying this game. Because, of course, good old GameStop was the only place that had the game, and I wasn't going to spend
Yep.
$60 on it because it was $39 at Walmart. But I won the money, so I didn't really care. I was getting my game on the way home.
Oh no. See, like even I every week I spend $5 on lottery. 2 on a Powerball, 2 for Mega, and I always buy a dollar scratcher. My dollar scratcher won me $3, and I was like, I want 3 more scratchers. Give me my 3 more scratchers. I didn't win, but you know what I mean? That's like throw it back. We can do better. We can do better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then see, I'm the exact opposite. I'll buy a scratcher and I'll win $10, and it's like somebody just gave me $1 million. I get all excited. I go in and cash it out. They're like, "You want more?" I'm like, "Nope. Give me my $10."
Nope.
Yeah,
I would have
because
been
they're
like,
used to. They're definitely used to everybody else that comes in. Oh,
Yeah.
well, let me buy this one and that one, and
Yeah.
oh, let me try this one over here.
Well, I turned my 2 into 10, so I can turn my 10 into 100, and then I can turn my 100 into 1,000, and that's where they get you. They make you think that you
Yep.
know, well, if I buy different tickets with the $10, I'll win on one of those, and then I'll be able to buy the bigger tickets. And then you go drop like $40 on one of those $40 scratchers, and it's like instant regret.
no, see, I would have if I would have won the $10, I would have went definitely and bought a $10 ticket, you know, because I'd been like, yeah, give me something big. Come on, baby.
You won 1001. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd be like, let's cash it in for another 10,011.
Now, Trish, if you say one like on a dollar scratcher, say it was $10, then you go for a $10 one, and say you won $1, what would you do?
I'd go buy $1.
I knew that was
Yeah,
gonna.
I don't know how you don't. Know
Yeah, no, I knew it too, but I just had to ask.
I would, but I know how I am. I made Mike. We went to bingo. We went to a casino that had a bingo place, and we went with our friends. And I was doing okay on this machine, but I wasn't winning big, but I wasn't really losing either. And I kept at this medium. I ended up on that machine for 6 hours to the point to where I had to get a hotel room for my friend to sleep because he was driving. And I'm like, we're going to hit, Mike. We're going to hit. We're going to hit good. And I just couldn't get big. I couldn't get little. And I just kept like right in the middle. And I mean, I got a little bit up, and it was like finally after 8 hours, $283, I finally said, enough is enough. But yeah, like 8
Now,
hours.
during that 8 hours, you had no food or anything,
Oh,
no breaks. It was just
you
straight
have
8
plenty of
hours.
drinks.
You have plenty of drinks, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, and I told Mike to
No.
the machine when I had to go pee, but I'm like, you guard this machine. I mean, it might
With your life.
So, but yeah.
This is not the ideal situation, it seems.
Oh, please, Mike's dealt with the fact that I became one of those coupon ladies in like 16 hours at Target. You know, well, I'd be like, no, we're comparing prices right now, honey. We have to wait. They get their shipment in at 2:00, around 2:00. We got to see what's coming in.
But
They allow
couponing
double
stuff-
coupons on that. We're doing it.
The coupon stuff did pay off more than once, where we either got products nearly free or, oh, it's Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Wendy's finally here? That's awesome. Hey, Wendy.
Well, but see, I love taking that 50-cent coupon and doubling it to $1, so that $1 pack of toilet paper is free, or you get the free dish soap. Because if it's 99 cents, you get it free, and you're just paying taxes.
No. My mom did that when I was young, so believe me, I get it. Coupons, they do come in handy, but unfortunately, you do spend an insane amount of time going through the coupons, making sure you have what you need and all that stuff. And it's like you go down this aisle, and it's like, okay, what coupons do I have for this? And the next aisle, and it's over and over and over again. And it's just like, as a child, that's the worst thing for a kid. You want to be running down the aisles and everything else.
See, there's 2 types of couponers. There's Trish with the mega couponing, and then there's me with, holy shit, this is a badass coupon. And then I check out and forget to fucking use it.
No, ask Mike what I did one
I
year.
get out of the store and I pull my checkbook out to put the receipt in, and there's the coupon staring me right in the face, like, "Ha ha, you're gonna get a good deal," but you forgot to use that coupon.
That's me
Go
with
ahead.
gift cards.
So a few years ago, well, a lot of years ago, like maybe 10 years ago, Welch's put out a coupon for, I don't know, 50 cents or $1. The store would double it. And the doubled coupon was significantly above the price of their product. So they would technically owe you money. So where it took about 5 hours of arguing with Walmart and calling Welch's, it found out that Welch's meant it. Absolutely. So every time Trish bought one frozen thing of juice, she made like 73 cents or something. So we went.
She bought $150 worth of groceries and bought all this Welch's.
Oh, it gets better.
Oh,
we
no.
went to the
That's
library.
That's little thinking.
We went
for
to the
us.
library and printed off a million of these coupons, basically a ton of them. And then because we didn't have a printer with enough ink at the time to do it here from the house. Then we went to the store and we bought cartloads.
It was probably smarter to do it at the public library.
It probably was. I mean, I'm sure it was wearing the things, but I mean, we paid a dime for every one of these copies, basically, and then we made like 73 cents. So we were overall coming out 63 cents ahead. Trish made hundreds of dollars off this deal. We had cartloads of juice, and then we had no place to put the juice. So we had to call around to churches and donate
and
all
daycare
the
centers
juices.
and everything. I'm like, if
As
you know
fast
anybody
as
that wants
possible.
juice, come get it. And
Yeah.
I ended up making over $1,200. I bought Mike. This was when PS3 was coming out. I bought Mike a brand new PS3. I bought each of our girls a PS3 and each of them a video game from buying Welch's juices.
Well,
That's
see, that's the
cool.
awesome thing about Target.
I mean,
Target,
I'm surprised you didn't. Oh, sorry, Russell.
No, go ahead.
I was surprised that Trish didn't go, you know what? We're going to make a juice stand and we're going to sell juice.
No,
There was couponing still to be done.
That's
I mean,
right.
we had
That's
to move
right.
on.
we moved on. We moved on. But all the daycares, all the churches, everybody that needed juices had juice.
The
So
whole 50
that's all
mile
I cared.
surrounding area, they were all juiced up.
That's right. They were.
And see, that's the cool thing. A lot of people don't know Target will actually give you the money if the coupon is over what it is. They will pay you the money back. So like we've gone in and we've couponed with diapers and used back when they had Cartwheel, and they would have like you could use the Cartwheel because it was a Target coupon, and you can use a manufacturer's coupon with that Cartwheel and with a Target coupon. So you had all three that you could go in and stack with. And we went in, we bought diapers and wipes and formula and just, Band-Aids, body wash, stuff that you wouldn't believe. We'd go through and it'd be like, our total would be like 189 something. And then they would scan all the coupons and then the Cartwheel and then the Target coupons. And they would owe us $23 and we got $50 in gift cards for buying three things of body wash.
That's what I was going to tell you is, because Target was amazing because so many
until
times.
they got rid of Cartwheel, and now they've got this deal where you get points and you can send it back. But it was badass. Like literally, we checked out. It was $189, and we got $50 in gift cards, and they owed us like $20-something. They paid us in cash, and the person behind us, I think their jaw hit the floor and came out the other side of the earth. Like I'm not even joking. And they're like, I need to learn
they
from
stopped
you
doing
guys.
it though because everybody kept taking advantage of the
and that was the
program
thing, though,
and making them
advertised
pay
that you
them
could do
money.
that. That's the thing, though. They
I remember.
advertised that you could do that. They're like, hey, come in here and we'll pay you money and you can get shit for free. And everybody's flocking to freaking Target. And, I mean, you still get really good deals there.
Yeah, but I love the fact, even to this day, like, I don't hoard it, but, like, because you limit 4 now, but I'll take my 4 coupons for dish soap and have them doubled so I get it free. My 4 Angel Soft toilet paper. Take it, go get it free, and all I'm paying is, like, basically the taxes on the stuff. Razors, whatever. because there's still a big coupon you get for $3, and it's only $2.97 at Walmart. So get those free razors.
Yeah, and it was funny. You know, the funny thing is we're talking about this now, and like, so Roderick was born 5 years ago. He'll be 6 in March. So this was right around the time that Roderick was born. So it was 2015. They had a coupon for the Clorox toilet bowl cleaner. It was the 2-pack, and it was for way over what you paid for it. I think it was like $4.99 for the 2-pack on sale. The coupon was for $5 off a 2, and there was a 10% off on Cartwheel, and there was a Target coupon, and you got gift cards. We still have fucking toilet bowl cleaner. From 5 years
Don't feel
ago.
bad. We do too. Do not feel bad.
We still have toilet bowl cleaner. We haven't had to buy a toilet bowl cleaner for the last 6 years. And we made, I got like 5 full packs of Huggies diapers. I mean full boxes, like the $40 boxes off of all the gift cards we got from this toilet bowl cleaner that they paid us money to buy. And so like we got free diapers and oh my God, like literally, no joke. I looked under the other day and just shook my head because I looked at it and there were still 3 2-packs left from 5 years ago of toilet bowl cleaner. I'm like, does this stuff have an expiration date even? I'm like, whatever, it still cleans the toilet. So
Wendy's putting out Kickstarters.
What? Oh, Wendy's putting out Kickstarter stuff. Woohoo!
It'll be coming soon. You'll have a bottle opener and the world will become safe.
Well,
Yeah.
now I need to find coupons for bottles.
Well,
Now she's regret-
semi-complete,
now she's
complete
getting
for the
rid of
moment.
all those Welch's juice bottles. She's like, man, I could use my bottle opener on those. I'm just kidding. So yeah, Wendy, if you're here, exciting news to post tomorrow. We now have not 7, not 8, not 8,
Yeah.
9
9.
PDFs for Xenonanite Titan. And for anybody that's watching now, we now have 9 PDFs for Xenonanite Titan. We have added Scarlet Huntress and also Corey Hardiman's Sister Mercy #1. And he even sent me the PDF. Yes, it's awesome. So we're going to post it tomorrow. We're going to shout it out to the ether. Hello, you crazy kids. What's going on, Smithers? So
Yeah.
super
Hi,
excited.
Smithers.
We haven't talked about it in a while. We've been talking about video games and now mega couponing and toilet bowl cleaner. So, you know, and
Hey. It's all about the toilet bowl cleaner.
it's
Come
all
on.
about the toilet bowl cleaner. And we talked about how Trish had a tractor trailer load of Welch's juice that she distributed to the neighborhood, and they were juiced for at least a few months. So, you know, we're just having all kinds of fun in here and craziness. But Xenonanite Titan, guys, shout it out. We have 3 days left, less than 3 days left. We're getting down to the point that we can almost count it in hours. We have like 70 hours left of the campaign. We're almost to halfway. We are I'm looking at it right now. We are 32-22 away from funding. So we can get in like maybe 50 more people, get our friends in there, get that Explode member card. I know people are hurting because of the whole pandemic, so I don't want anybody to feel forced to back it or anything like that. But, you know, if you know anybody that would love these comics in PDF form, that would love this book, shout it out to them. Tell them to share it out if they don't have the money to back. And every time somebody shares, they may have somebody that wants to back it, and then they share it, and then somebody that they shared it to wants to back it. Let's freaking, every time somebody gets on Facebook, I want them to see Xenonanite Titan and the super sweet, badass 9 PDFs that are now included if you back this project. And these aren't PDFs that you're going to have to wait on. These are PDFs that once the money makes its way over to Kickstarter and it gets over to me and your pledge 100% goes through, these are books that are already done that you can delve into and have something to read while you're sitting at home, something that you can check out and love, and a new series that you can grow to love, like Wendy Steenshainer's Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassin #1 and Mr. Luis Torres, Codex Entertainment, LLC. Also, co-founder, Tripod Kitty Yuri. And you can get his Lily the Demoness #1 and check it out. And there's so much more awesome titles. Check it out. I will post the Kickstarter in the links again for everybody because I've been slacking. We've been talking about so much fun stuff. It just, it is what it is. It doesn't take.
Hey, you
very
wanted
much
a
to
random
keep-
podcast? We got a random podcast.
Hey, and I'm all about the random podcast. I could sit on here and do this stuff all day. So I definitely appreciate all the love that we've had so far. And you know what? If all else fails, try again. We'll make this happen. Go away, low battery. I don't care. So
You killed your battery.
yeah, so yeah, I don't have the phone plugged in right now because I'm using the headset. Because one of the bad things about StreamYard is if you don't use a headset, it after like 15 minutes of it being just on your phone speakers, you start getting feedback. So the audio starts to loop back. And so like after an hour of streaming straight from the phone, what happens is you just hear and like you cannot understand anything. And the only way to fix it is to stream using a headset. And I have this handy dandy splitter here that I use to split the because phones don't come with
The
headphone
headset and
jacks
charge
anymore.
cable. Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? It's 2020, y'all. I know we're making phones smaller, but why in the hell would you ditch the 3.5 millimeter jack? I mean, come on, people. Somebody needs to answer that for me. And I hear this excuse: we can't make the phone waterproof. Bullshit. Put a freaking rubber plug in it when we're not using it, people.
I mean, it's simple. But apparently it's not that simple, right? Because it
Apparently
costs
it's
them more
not that
money.
simple. We need to get Elon Musk in on this with this boring company. We need a boring company phone that has a freaking iPod, a 3.5 millimeter jack on it. Jesus, what is this world coming to?
Well, I'm sure the Cybertruck probably has one.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, that kitty is so cute. When I seen him in your bowl at work, Lewis, it just melted my heart. Seeing them all curled up and your napkins and your condiments thrown lightly about the desk. I loved every minute of it.
Backer number 1 approved.
That's right, backer number 1 approved. I missed a bunch of comments here. They just load in slow. And then we got the super sweet thing there and on YouTube. And yes, we're not freaking streaming to Twitch. So, yeah, screw those people. I apologize for my outburst last night. I just, this has been going on for like 3 months. Like when we have the streams, we'll have 1 or 2 people in Twitch and they're like, asking questions and, I'll put their questions up there and the creator or the author or the artist will answer them. And it's okay. And then you get all these people that get in there and just start talking stupid stuff. And I just ignore it and whatever. But, last night they were putting comments up. The ones that I put up were the lighter end ones of them, but they were talking shit about Roderick. And that's the no-no zone for me. Like that just sends me from 0 to 100. And plus I really wasn't feeling really good yesterday and I was tired. So like I just really made me mad. So
I don't know what kind of person actually has to pick on a little kid.
yeah,
I mean-
and that's what aggravated me the most. But like, it just pisses me off. I know Roderick's going to experience hurt in his life, and there's always going to be disappointment in his life, and but with him having the heart surgeries and stuff like that, I don't like him. The fact that he has to go through stuff like that, so little piddly things like that, just really pissed me off. So I lost my cool last night. So I apologize for my strong language and flipping shit and just dropping Twitch in the hat. Yeah, it was wrong. Like they were just basically.
That's right.
What's that?
I actually think you handled it very well, though. You could have really went way crazier, knowing your son was still there and everything else.
Well, I have to say
people pick on him.
I have to say, you could go back and watch that video. And when I went like this and like my face went full on red, I was like, I'm surprised that's the least that I said, because that's the look of I'm mega pissed is when I get up like this and I shake my head and I go full red, dude. It was like Rust Explode Studios was about to blow its top, man.
So Trish worked 16 hours on the weekend, so I don't know what happened. So can we, without raising your blood pressure?
Well, yesterday, some very special people on Twitch decided to post just as mean of things as they could find, I guess. And we seen the light ones; they were sort of mean. To
Yeah,
the
so
little boy.
so we were doing Blue Balls reviews last night. Roderick woke up last night with a fever and he was crying, and we couldn't find the
Aw.
thermometer because Adriana ran off with it. So I told Tiffany, I was like, "Don't make him go to his room and sit by himself. Tell him to come in here and sit with me, and he can get on the show." And so Steph and Wendy and everybody were saying hi to Roderick, and Roderick was super excited that people were saying hi to him, and he was saying hi. And we were interviewing him and asking him how old he was and what grade he was in, and
Aw.
these little teeny bopping douchebag mother effers were on there like, "Oh, look at that kid. He looks stupid." And, "Oh yeah, put the wig back on him. He looks cuter that way." Because
Wow.
I put my wig on him, to have, so he could have fun. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, it pissed me right the fuck off. Like immediately, like my blood pressure went to like 6,000, and I'm like, you keyboard warriors, one of these days, and we'll find out where you live. Like I don't care who it is, even if it's not Roderick. You don't pick on little kids. I mean, we're bigger than that now. It's freaking 2020, and you get on somebody's live stream that we're already joking around and just it's a stupid parody show. I mean, it's funny.
Right.
I'm freaking Harry Sachs, and and then they get on there, and I'm like, all right, guys, we're gonna go PG. My son's up; he's not feeling good. We can't really talk about Lily right now, which I was going to do the review today, but I didn't have time because we took him to the doctor and at urgent care because of course it's Sunday, and so yeah, I was like, we're going to go PG, and then they just start putting these comments just start blowing up because on StreamYard you get the one stream. If somebody comments on YouTube, it pops up here. Somebody comments on Twitch, it pops up here, and it just goes in the order of from whichever social media
Right.
that they comment from. It comes up on the comment feed, and so my son's sitting here, and all these comments are popping up about him. And I know he can't really see it, but if he was a few years older and he could see it, that's just ignorant to do. So that's what.
That's horrible. That is just me. See, and that's what hurts me so much is that people now, I don't know what is wrong with people nowadays. I really don't, because you would never disrespect like that but now people don't care.
I can tell you. Because
Well,
then they would get punched in the face. They would have
so
to
we
say
started changing things. As a society, we started changing things years ago, where when we grew up, if you backtalk to an adult, you got hit because you learned to respect your elders exactly. It wasn't to be mean to the child, it was to teach them to respect others. And there are consequences of what you may do. Nowadays, they don't teach any of that stuff anymore because they can't. Parents are like, "Oh, well, we don't hit our kids. We don't do that." It's like, it's not about hitting your kids. It's teaching them to respect. And I'm not saying to abuse your kids. I'm just saying there is a line that you need to let them understand. They cannot walk over everything that you do. That's why, like, you go shopping and you'll see a little kid cursing out their parents and nothing is happening anymore. It's like, how is this possible? Why is this possible?
But see, honestly, and maybe it's just me, but I have no millennials that work in my department because I can't deal with them. I can't. No, I can't, because they all think when I talk to them, if I'm like, hey, that's not right what you did. And my bosses have come to me and they're like, Trish, you have to set these kids down and be like, that disappoints me in your action. And I'm like, no.
They're not 5 years old.
I'm not going to do that to a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Because they feel like I'm offending them because I'm telling them, you're screwing up. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't sugarcoat it. I'm as sweet as can be, but if you're screwing up, I ain't going to sugarcoat it.
That's not all millennials.
That's a lot of them. That's a lot of them.
Well, that's a lot of people in general, and it started getting out of hand with millennials in general because they were given trophies for everything that they did. There was no losers growing up. That's already treating them overly special, and it's like, okay, when we were growing up, if you were playing a sport, if you didn't get first, second, or third, you were like, well, that sucks, but now I'm going to try harder to get that, one of those trophies.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, we give you participation trophies. And as soon as they turn 18 and need a job, they're still expecting those participation trophies. It's like, no, we're paying you to do a job. We're not paying to be a babysitter so you can decide whatever you want to do for the day and get paid for whatever you feel like. That's
But
not
if
how
you
this
are
works.
in a leadership role at any of those jobs and you have to deal with 20-year-olds, you are expected to coddle them. And
Well,
and
Yeah.
No.
I work for a big
No.
company. No, yes, you are. And I've been told that. I've been told that. I work for the biggest company there
Trish
is
is about to
here
get the
in
baby
United
powder.
States right now, Walmart. And I'm telling you, the bosses have told me, coddle them,
Well, the boss,
make them happy.
the boss have told you, but they cannot make it an official rule, because if they make it an official rule at Walmart,
No,
if you
it's
coddle
never.
a 20-year-old, you have to coddle a 60-year-old.
But
You're
but
going to
they
have to
expect it.
gently sit Grandpa down and say, "All right, Grandpa, I'd like to be very
But
gentle."
they do coddle them. They're called board readers.
Well, they are, but I
Okay,
mean, you'd
okay,
have
so-
to coddle a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old. You'd have to coddle everybody,
So
because they have to be even.
I got to put my 10 cents in with this. So I love that we ended up with this. So first off, Trish, to answer your question,
Yes.
since we derailed here, and then we'll go back to the
Right.
participation trophies.
It
So
was fun.
all that happened. And so like for the first time in like 9 months, you guys see me actually get pissed off at somebody, because like I roll with the jokes. I have fun. I know we're all here to have fun, and people are saying stuff, and it's not like them being mean. It's just them cracking jokes. And that's what we do. But this was just downright, just straight up ignorant stuff towards my kid. Like, hey, if your kid can read, I hope he can see this. And I lost my shit. I'm like, I got on here. I'm like, Twitch, boom, end stream on Twitch. And I ended it. I'm like, I don't care if it ends the whole broadcast. I'm not putting up with this. And so luckily I didn't end the whole broadcast. But I do apologize for my strong language yesterday. If anybody gets offended by anything that I said, I was really mad. So we'll just leave that at that. So, yes, thank God somebody else feels like I do. I am so tired of everybody getting participation trophies. I've been preaching this for 9 years, and everybody around me acts like I'm crazy. So here's the problem that you present, just like Jack said. When you give everybody a participation trophy, they have no need to want to try harder to succeed in life. Just because you sat on the bench for the whole baseball season, you got a participation trophy. You never had any incentive to become a better baseball player. Just because you sucked at school and you didn't want to do your homework, and you still got passed through class even though you got an F. That, and I know that happens here. I've seen it happen where this kid's flunking, and it's no kid left behind is the new motto, and they push the kids on, and it's like, how in the hell do you expect this kid to complete 6th grade when they didn't do 5th grade or they didn't do 4th grade? You're pushing them on. You're setting them up for failure. You got to sit this kid down and say, we're sorry. You're not trying hard enough. You're not understanding the work. We're going to have to hold you back a year so you can learn it. And the parents have the option to be able to do that, and they don't, because they don't want to hold their kid back. And it's like nobody holds the kids accountable. So what we set up is this.
Well, nobody holds the parents accountable either.
Exactly. And we set up this false sense of entitlement. So when somebody gets a job, they can, if they don't do their job properly, they still expect that they're going to get paid every day, and that nobody's going to say a word to them. So, and then it's like, so my thing is that's why you get this crazy shit that happens where people go in and they shoot up their offices, and they crazy stuff that happens because these kids don't understand how to handle disappointment. Their whole life, they've been given a participation trophy. They're told they're the best thing since baked bread, even though they suck at what they do. And then they go somewhere that somebody actually goes, you're not the best thing since baked bread. You're a terrible employee. We're going to have to let you go. And then people wonder why people do stuff that is just insane. And I hate to talk about it like that, but it's the honest to God truth. And somebody's got to stop sometime and say, we're doing things wrong. We're creating these issues because people don't know how to handle disappointment. If my project fails, you're not going to see me go, oh, boo-hoo, and I give up. I don't understand why nobody backed my project, because I'm the best thing since since Star
Like
Wars.
Red.
No, it's just going to be, okay, I didn't do it right. What do I need to do to fix it? We'll drop the art book. We're going to launch it again. We're going to drop the goal. We'll do an art book later. We'll do it when everybody's not missing jobs and there's not Christmas and this and that. We tried it. We failed. And you know, they don't know how to handle disappointment like that. Yeah, am I going to be disappointed? Yeah. Am I going to be heartbroken? Yeah. But I'm going to dust myself off and I'm going to try to do better. Toward the kids these days, they've been handed these participation trophies. So when they don't get their participation trophy or they don't succeed at what they do, they don't know how to handle the consequences or the feelings that they have because they've never experienced them. When you're a kid, that's when you learn how to handle feelings and emotions. If you're not taught that at a young age, how are you going to learn that when you're 20 years old and you're working at Walmart and Trish is telling you you're here to stock shelves? You don't do anything all day. You need to stock the shelves or you're fired. And then they're like, "Oh, Trish told me I was going to lose my job because I just stand against the shelf all day. She can't
Yep.
talk to me like that."
Oh,
So-
or we're on our phone all the time. It's like that is in the rules.
That's
You're not supposed to have your phone out when you're on the floor. That is part of the rules. So
It's okay.
I know,
The
I know.
computer is staying
I
in the room.
know.
I did
But
not
that's
move it
one of those
outside.
things that the millennials, they will not put their phones down. It's like it's not gonna break. You can turn it's not your baby. You can turn it off and look away from it for 5 minutes to do your job, to deal with the people.
yeah. No, I
No,
know.
no.
Smithers,
I mean,
Smithers, and Lewis have
might
been going at
so
it
much. I know. Okay.
They're about to show Smithers
in
explaining
the
why
comments.
pizza is gone.
Oh, why is
They did it to piss you off. They are cutting down on their carbon footprint. They took a lot of packaging for the pizza, both to serve and for some of the ingredients. So bye Mexican pizza. I got you, Smithers. The world now knows. I had to stop Trish, but the world knows.
The list of ingredients was too long for the millennials to read, so they had to cut it down.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and
I had to-
That could
so
literally be
Smithers, you might be able to answer this, considering you have to deal with 7 Taco Bells. Like, why the hell does the menu keep changing? Like, you go 1 week and it's a different menu from the week before. What the hell?
Yeah, so get this.
Is
So
corporate
while we're waiting on his answer, so we went to Taco Bell like 3 weeks ago because it was really late at night. Nobody else was open. I have to eat to take my medicine, or it just tears me a new one through my stomach. And I mean,
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
not a good thing.
cramps. No, and so I'm like, hey, we need to stop and get something to eat because I got to take my meds. And so we're like, oh, we'll stop at Taco Bell. So we stopped there, and like everything chicken on the menu had a line through it, and it said out of chicken. I'm like, how in the hell can a place be out of chicken? Like, so we get up to the drive-through and we ask the lady, we're like, are you guys seriously out of chicken on everything? Because we always get like the dollar menu. They got the little mini chicken quesadilla thing, and like the regular quesadillas, like literally 2 of them is like $7. You can get 2 of these for $2, and it's like a whole one. And so it's like the cheap way of getting the same thing for less than half the price. And they're like, oh yeah, we're not handling chicken anymore. We're taking chicken off the menu. And I'm like, what? Well, then we go the next week and they got some kind of new chicken thing on the menu. And they have chicken again. I'm like, can you guys not make up your mind what you want? And then like 1 week they have freaking fries. Oh,
No,
we've got nacho fries. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
The fries are the shit. They put way too much seasoning salt on it. Just the way I like it. Hell yeah, give me the things that are going to give me a freaking stroke because I love extra salt.
and then the nacho cheese, which just
it just steps it up. And then you go and they're like, oh yeah, we discontinued that. We only have that every once in a while because it draws people in. I'm like, I hate
Well,
you
here's
guys.
the thing too, and it's part of COVID's problem is a lot of the chicken factories they have COVID, so they can only get so much supply out. So it's kind of whatever store gets whatever is what's basically on the menu right now.
Let's see, they try to make it easier and faster. They got rid of the shredded chicken and the shredded chicken products. We never got rid of our regular chicken. Fries are coming back on Christmas Eve. Yay! I'm getting fries and I'm going to eat fucking 6 orders of nacho cheese fries while I'm waiting on my guy to bring me Cyberpunk
Hold on.
2077. We're going back to that. I'm waiting for it, man.
So Smithers, they keep doing boxes for all the stuff. They change the boxes too, but like, are they gonna do like a nacho fry box like they have done with the nachos lately, where it's just a full box full of fries and then the nacho sauce just on top of it? Because that would be amazing.
The
Granted,
worst
probably
thing.
the sauce would probably go through the box.
That's over your.
That would be the downside.
I guarantee you that.
No, it's Christmas Eve. It's calorie free.
Oh, okay.
He said yes, not a full box.
Dang it!
Yeah.
I'm so excited for Christmas Eve. Now we get nacho fries on Christmas Eve. We get Wonder Woman 84 on Christmas Day. But on the 26th of December, we get Letter Kenny.
Kenny, let it.
To be fair.
To be fair.
It's going to be like 3 days of bliss. I will probably die on the 26th.
Ooh, grande fries.
I only have to plan out my life till the 27th.
Oh, that looks good.
Now let's talk about the Nacho Bel Grande,
Grande
everybody.
fries.
What happened to the giant ass deep fried shell bowl that the Nacho Bel Grande used to come in? That was like my favorite thing ever because my mom would eat when I was a kid. That was the only thing I remember. My mom would eat the Nacho Bel Grande and let me eat the shell that was around it because she didn't want to eat it because it had, she was on a diet or whatever. That was the best thing in the world ever. And let's talk about another thing that Taco Bell effed up. Why in the hell are there no black olives on anything that Taco Bell serves? Because it is a crime to eat Mexican without having black olives on it. I'm just going to lay that out there.
I love black olives too, and I don't think a lot of people do like them.
Well, Smithers could get on. He might still be doing his job.
Chicken bacon chalupa is coming on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
we're
chicken
gonna be
bacon
loading a bunch
Oh
of-
my God.
Oh,
That was a taco
chicken
salad, not a
bacon
Nacho Bel
chalupa
Grande.
and nacho fries.
Whatever it was, they
And
need to
that's what
bring
I'm
it
going to be
back.
telling you. Nacho fries, buddy.
Nacho fries.
You don't deny me anything. I'm going to have a giant helping of nacho fries and a chicken bacon chalupa. And then on the 25th, I'll have Wonder Woman. And on the 26th, I'll watch all of Letterkenny. And I'll die on the 27th. I'll be fine. That's where we plan our life out to.
I know you don't have black olives. That's what I'm saying. It's a crime. You guys committed a crime when you nixed black olives back in the 90s. Thanks for dating me, Smithers. I really appreciate that. But let's bring back black olives because black olives will reinvigorate Taco Bell and the following. Because I'm telling you, man. And you know what? It's really sad. So this is a really funny story. When I first met my wife, there's a lot of firsts. Like my wife just thought I was the weirdest person she'd ever met in her life because we're like two totally different people. So I made tacos for the first time, and I'm cutting up black olives and putting black olives in the taco, and her jaw is like on the floor, like, "What in the hell are you doing? Who puts black olives on tacos?" I'm like, "Yeah, see, you were born like way after me," because she's like, "I'm not way. I'm 3.5 years old." Well. Yeah, 3.5 years older than her. 2.5 years older than her.
I heard she was only 18.
Oh, get out of here.
What? They all said she's way younger than you, so I was figuring she's like 18.
No, she's like 2.5 years. So you would be amazed at the difference.
she's not a child, Trish.
Yeah, she's not a child. So you would be amazed at the amount of difference 2.5 years makes. Because like the cartoons and stuff that she remembers as a kid, I'm like, what in the hell are you talking about? And like I'm talking about like Darkwing Duck and Animaniacs and Bonkers and Tailspin and Chippendale Rescue Rangers. She had no idea who Chippendale Rescue Rangers was. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah. And so like when I was putting black olives on the tacos, she's just like, what is wrong with you? And then she ate it and she's like, wow, this is awesome. Why doesn't Taco Bell put black olives on their tacos? I'm like, they used to.
Because Taco Bell really isn't Mexican food.
Yeah, because it really isn't. I'm like, they used to do it. They got rid of salsa too. That pissed me off. Yeah, that was really bad. I have a case at my house that was left at a store. We're old, Russell. I know, and it's so bad. We are so old. Taco John still does. Yeah. And so it's crazy. All like the cereals when we had as a kid, and like all this new shit is like just it doesn't even compare. Like you eat
they've changed the recipe since then too.
Yeah, like 20 times. Like my
most of that
kids,
stuff.
Yeah, my kids will get like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I'm like, oh man, I remember this, and I taste it. I'm like, oh my god, this tastes like it came out of a beaker.
No, do you guys watch on Facebook? There's this show or this station. It's called like the 80s and 90s, and they have Saturday morning cartoons from the 80s. We watch Mr. T, we watch GI Joe, we watch Thundercats, we watch all those shows.
Thundercats, yeah.
You know, and it's
all the good stuff.
I'm getting in trouble. I'm talking about her. She's giving me the stink eye.
At 18, they don't have stink
Well,
eyes.
technically, Trish was talking about her, and you were just going on describing.
Right. But
Oh, I
no,
don't
it's
know.
called 80s and 90s. I'll share it again on my Facebook. And they have cartoons every morning. And it's so, I'm like, and they even have the commercials that go with it.
Yes.
Every Saturday morning.
Smithers, did you not get them? So, like, literally 2 years ago, they brought them back. Like, I'm not even joking. They brought it back. They had the old pouches, and then they had it in cans. And, like, when I heard about it, I told my wife, I was like, we have to do whatever it takes. Like, whatever it takes, we have to get some of these. Like, I don't know where they sell it at. Our Walmart doesn't have it because it was a Walmart-only item. I'm like, we have to do whatever it takes. Even if we have to kidnap somebody to get these, we're going to do it. And she found them online and ordered them. And you want to talk about a kid opening the present on Christmas. She's like, I got something for you. It came in today. And I opened the box, and I probably almost peed my pants because it was a box of the Ecto Coolers, and it had Slimer on it. I was like, oh my God, I'm like 6 years old again. I love these. What?
Yeah.
No, you got them from Walmart. And then Amazon had them later on because some asshat bought them all up and then upped the price and put them on Amazon. Because it was one of those limited things. They only had it for so long. And going back to talking about the jackasses that buy shit up and then resell it for price.
Russ, if you ever need something
Jesus,
from Walmart,
Smithers.
please let me know. I live a mile away from corporate office.
That doesn't mean you can get it.
Well, no, but Walmart 1 is literally behind our house by 2 blocks.
And I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
He talks about being diabetic and he would probably die. And it was exactly like it used to be. Like, it had that consistency, like you were drinking Kool-Aid, but it kind of felt a little goopy because it had so much sugar in it, but it wasn't goopy because you like kind of poured it in a glass to look at it. Like, hey, is there like something growing in here? You know, this is exactly.
There was definitely something growing in there.
Yeah, they probably found an old batch that's back from the 90s. They're like, hey, can we repackage this and sell it? It's been stagnating for a while. Hey, maybe we can heat the cans up and pasteurize it. It'll be good. They can drink it. So yeah, there was so much stuff when we were kids that oh man, like there was this one soda called Team when I was a kid. There was like one restaurant,
like 7-Up.
Yeah, it was just like 7-Up and Sprite, and Team was awesome, and I can't find it anywhere to save my life now. There was one restaurant
they discontinued.
There was one restaurant up until like 10 years ago that served it in Fountain. It was the only place I've ever seen in my entire life that had it in Fountain. Yeah. It was Petite Paris in Festus, Missouri. They had Team.
I've never even seen that on Fountain.
Yeah, it was insane. Times have changed so much.
So, Russ, where do you live?
Missouri.
Where in Missouri?
So, if you know where Six Flags is in Missouri, I live like a half hour from there. So it goes.
Oh, okay.
So it goes Eureka, where Six Flags is. The next town past that is Pacific. And then it goes Gray Summit, Washington, and then Union. So I'm like 5 exits past Six Flags. I live in Union. Okay. So I'm about 50 miles west of St. Louis.
Well, no, we live right at the corner. We live in Rogers, Arkansas. Well, Bentonville, Arkansas. So, I mean, like, you're not that far from us.
No, we're not east of St. Louis. That's why I don't follow your directions. We are west of St. Louis. See, St. Louis is here. We're to the left of it. It goes north, east, south, west. Do we need to do
which is also backwards on screen, but hey.
Go ahead and tell them what happened in Kansas City when I was like, Mom, listen to me for instructions.
Oh my God.
So when we were moving my mom down here one time, she was driving her tiny little car. She was driving her tiny little car, and we got to Kansas City. She's like, oh, well, we got to figure out how to get through this. Trish wakes up from a dead sleep. And I'm like, all right, Mom, you got to stay on this road. And Trish's like, no, take the turn.
Take the business exit.
So rather than her son, who's wide awake, she listened to Trish, who was half dead. So we took this exit and went into Kansas City. Well, we didn't go just into Kansas City. We went into the biggest ghetto part of Kansas City ever. There were bars everywhere. Not
everywhere.
Not taverns. No. Steel bars on all the windows and stuff. They were selling drugs on the road. Cars stopped at lights. They came up and sold you drugs. My mom has everything she owns in the car. We have stuff on our laps. We can't hardly even get up. I mean, the car is literally packed with everything. My mom starts rolling down the window. I'm like, Mom, that's a sign you want to buy drugs. They're going to come here, see your car, and steal everything. Trish led us to the worst place on earth.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like that one time that my dad was driving through downtown St. Louis. What's up, Matt? My dad was driving through downtown St. Louis, and the muffler, he hit a bump, and the muffler fell off the van. And literally within seconds, this kid come running across the street and tried to pick it up to run off with it, and then threw it in the air because it was hot, and was like, ah! I'm like, dude, I know you want to sell it for scrap, but it's hot, buddy. It's called a muffler for a reason because it works off the exhaust. I mean, yeah, you talk about you get into those ghetto parts. Like that's the part of town that I was in one time, up on the east side of St. Louis. I'm driving down the road. I pull up next to this Lincoln Continental with sheets of drywall strapped over the roof, and both ends are going like this. So like every few seconds they couldn't see out of the window, the front windshield or the rear window because the drywall was completely so heavy it was curved over the windows. And this guy's driving down the road like that. I'm like, what in the hell? Don't you have a buddy that's got some Peter pickup truck or something?
Not even with his head stuck out the window or anything, just straight.
Nope.
Like, yeah, I'll see it eventually. Probably scratch the crap out of the top of his roof and everything.
Hey, what's going on, Rodrigo? Christina and I get lost together all the time and end up in the worst places. Oh my God, my wife will ask me directions. So this one time she had to go to Brentwood, and Brentwood's kind of hood. It's not, but it is. Kinda. It is, but it isn't. Like literally, it's a divided town. Like one side of the town's really nice, and one side of the town's not so nice. And so she had to go there to go to Target to get a Christmas present for the kids. So she always calls me for directions, even though she's got Siri, that she can be like, "Hey Siri, how do I get home?" And so she's like calling me. She's like, "Well, I'm here. What road do I need to take?" I'm like, "You need to get on the loop and go up the outer road on Outer 40 onto Brentwood Boulevard, and then go out, and they'll take you to 44." Well, she gets lost somehow. I mean, like it was the easiest directions to follow because the signs are huge, and I drive.
It was the loop.
Time. Yeah, and so she like ends up at the gas station, and she asks this guy, and I swear to God, she calls me. She's like, "I give up." She's like, "I asked this guy at the gas station how to get there, and he told me the same thing you told me." I was like, "Because that's literally all you had to do. You had to get on Brentwood Boulevard, and you were home free. You would drive until there was a sign that says make a left and get on 44." And so she's the worst at following directions. And hon, I swear to God, we're west of St. Louis.
Me too, Smithers. Me too.
Every time anybody asks me, I always tell them we're east of St. Louis. So,
Well, when you tell them we're east of St. Louis is Illinois. If you look at a map, look at the map on the wall that you used to teach the kids, and look at where St. Louis is, and look at where we were. Don't glare at me like that. Don't you look at me in that tone of voice.
I must look like a real
About to burst through the fire.
For 32 years, I've been telling everybody I live east of St.
Well, yeah, for 32 years you've been wrong. So guess what? For the next however many years, you can tell people the right way.
You lost before, buddy. You lost.
That's all right. I always sleep on the couch. It's more comfortable anyway.
Oh, yeah, right.
Our couches are not more comfortable.
All right, I'm gonna get it after the show. Sweet. It's been a while since I've had a beating.
Oh, shut up.
There's going to be a spanking in Russ's house tonight.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's a
You,
good
you
time.
just you gotta wait till the 24th, and then you get your nacho fries.
Yeah, get my
And it's all
nacho
good.
fries. I'll take my beating today, and then on the 24th, I'll get my nacho fries, and then the chicken bacon chalupa, and Cyberpunk
Oh, yeah.
2077. I'll be in heaven. I got food that's pre-made for me. I don't have to tell her to get in the kitchen and make it. And then I got a game that I can just totally block her out for the rest of the day. I'm just kidding. She never cooks, so it's a joke.
You get nacho fries.
They got Smithers works for Taco Bell. They get nacho fries on Christmas Eve. They're coming back. Yeah. Yeah, now she's happy.
By the way, Smithers, is Josh Duhamel going to do another commercial for nacho fries as well?
What else are they coming out with?
Oh, so Christmas Eve, they got the nacho fries and the bacon chicken chalupa. Does that not sound amazeballs?
I don't know.
I know, but think about it. Think about it.
Wendy,
I don't really care for their chicken.
Wendy is so
She
hard.
won't kill me. Maybe she will. That's right. Somebody's got to put me out of my misery.
I don't really care for Taco Bell's chicken.
So the new chicken's kind of weird because it's not shredded. But just think about it. You get the chicken bacon chalupa, you open it up, and you put some fries along the side and drizzle the cheese inside of it, and then close it up.
Maybe they'll just sell this the chalupa
Genius.
shell. With
This is
nothing.
how this is the meal that will lead right to the day where Wonder Woman will come out, which will lead
It's the
which
holy
will be
meal.
all we've had to do on Earth. I mean, we will already have the Naughty Fairy decks by then. We will have lived the dream.
They'll do that if they just sell us the chalupa.
All right, so there you go, Smithers. There's your another question. He wants to know, when are the rolled chicken tacos coming back? You got to hook Matt up. Yeah, those were freaking amazing. You can get fries added to anything, by the way. Probably next year. Cool. Yeah, so that was one of my other weird concoctions. So like 15 years ago, I started mixing barbecue sauce and ranch together because it's the best combination in the world. Like mixing it together.
It's a spicy sweet ranch.
Yeah, it's freaking amazeballs. Well, my wife, that's one of the other things. Black olives on tacos was the first thing. The second craziest thing was when I mixed barbecue sauce and ranch together. She thought it was an abomination. And I finally got her to try that. And so I invented barbecue chicken Alfredo out of my whole barbecue sauce and ranch thing. I decided to put barbecue sauce in the Alfredo sauce.
No, it was because I bought some kind of sauce.
Well, that too. I invented it because she bought this Alfredo sauce that had bay leaf in it, or basil. Yeah, that's right. It was basil and bay leaf. This thing had so much freaking basil in it. It was horrendous. Like literally, I think it was 90%
it's green.
basil. Yeah, dude, it was green. It was horrible. And we had another jar of it. I'm like, what can I do to make this better? I was like, barbecue sauce. And my wife's like looking at me like I'm insane. I'm like, dude, barbecue sauce will make this so much better. So I mixed barbecue sauce in and threw it back into the pot and warmed it up. And then we got it back out. She's like, holy shit, you're a genius. This is way better. And so then we've been making it like that ever since. We just put barbecue sauce in it. And then you tell people about it.
With Alfredo sauce, which is good, it's basically just a liquid cheese.
Yeah, pretty
so
much. That's all
you add
it's cheesy barbecue sauce.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's chip dip.
Chip dip.
Chip dip.
They usually come back at Christmas time, but they brought the fries back and said, "That's it, they're fired." Well, no, they can live because it's the fries. Those are so good, man. I love seasoning salt, and the fact that they put seasoning salt on their fries just sets them a bar above everybody else. It's always great when you get that fresh batch of fries straight out of the fryer, and you got a bunch of the soft, soggy ones, and they're over salted. Those are the best. My favorite. Sounds gross. I'm unfriending you, Russell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What kind of barbecue sauce did you use? So I use KC Masterpiece, the hickory brown sugar is the kind that I use.
Oh, we're a Sweet Baby Ray's house at this house. We do Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray.
I just wish I could have that stuff.
You'll say I'm not supposed to have it either. Now I eat the sugar-free stuff, But
Oh no,
I
it's
got-
acid reflux for me. So
oh yeah,
can't have the
well,
spicy and all the good stuff that I used to eat all the time.
yeah, well, and that's part of the thing, when with the whole cancer deal shit back in January, the other problem that they found is that my A1C was like through the roof, and like my blood sugar really wasn't that bad, but my A1C was really high. So they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna have to start. So like we've pretty much changed everything we eat around here. Like I got sugar-free barbecue sauce that I found that's actually really good, and sugar-free ketchup, which is also really good. I tell the kids it's unicorn blood, so they don't eat it because it's like $7 a bottle. And then they got into it.
Yeah, scar the kids about unicorns.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, oh, it's unicorn blood. They're like, it is, and I'm like, oh, I tell the kids all kinds of crazy shit about food. Like we'll be eating tilapia. Like we'll have lemon pepper tilapia for dinner. I'll make that up and grill it, and they'll be like, "What is this, Dad?" And I'm like, "It's giant sea squid." And they're like, "Really?" And so they'll be telling people like they'll be like, "My dad made giant sea squid for dinner last night," and people are like, "What?" And I'm like. And it's just funny because I just tell them because like literally I get tired of the questions of like literally we could have lemon pepper tilapia 87 nights in a row and every night it'll be what's this, Dad? So like I just start making up random stuff just because it's fun to screw with their heads. I'm like, you're gonna ask me 10 times, I'm gonna tell you it's freaking tilapia. Now we're having squid. Let's see.
And next it's crocodile.
Yeah. Oh, I've told him crocodile too. Let's see. Sweet Baby Ray's is good. I have 2 Sweet Baby Ray's restaurants by me. I also like Open Pit. Dude, Open Pit's good too. If you told me it was unicorn blood, I would drink that shit. I would have unicorn powers. So it's so funny. We ran out of regular barbecue sauce. And so my wife's like, oh, I'm going to have to give them your ketchup. We ran out of ketchup. She's like, I'm going to have to give them your ketchup. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. Whatever. We've got a couple more bottles in the cabinet. And so they're like, Mom, that's Dad's unicorn blood. We can't eat that. She's like, it's fine. It's just like your guys' stuff. And they're like, Mom, this is way better than ours. I want unicorn blood from now on. So now when we go to a restaurant, like when they do open up again, that's going to be the first thing that they ask when the waitress comes over and she's like, or the waiter comes over and they're like, would you guys like any sauce? They're going to be like, do you guys have unicorn blood?
Now, Russ, I officially know you are rich because every poor person has a pack of ketchup from some fast food joint in their fridge, and they could be like, "Here, kiddo, there you go."
You run out of that.
Yeah, but he had to do it because of the sugar free.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, for him, but for the kids, that's what I'm saying.
See, here's the thing you have to understand though: we don't ever eat out, like ever, and there's the reason why is because. For one, with Roderick with his heart issue, like when he has open heart surgeries, we have to go on quarantine. So, like literally, the first 2 years of Roderick's life, we didn't do anything. We didn't like the very first time. So I'll tell the story. Everybody was asking about what happened, and I never really went on to it. Fish sticks were a weasel sticks forever at our house. You have to go on Amazon and buy the unicorn meat stocking stuffers. Yeah, I seen that. So the story behind this is Roderick was born, he had his open heart surgery, and then he had a cardiac cath at 11 months, and then he had this, and then he had that, and then Sissy was born. So we never went out because, with Roderick being a baby, he was high risk. There was RSV. We couldn't get the insurance to cover the shots. They were like $1,400 a month, yada, 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 the flu, all that stuff. Roderick was super duper duper high risk. So like, look, if he gets this, it could stop his heart and it'll kill him. So, like, some parents are like, oh, whatever, we'll still do what we want. But we're not like that. We're like, we're not doing anything ever. Like, we'll do something every once in a while, but we're going to be careful about it. And so, finally, Roderick was, like, 17 months old. Adriana was just born. She was, like, what, a month and a half? Yeah, because it was your birthday. So, she was a month and a half old. So, I talked to the lady at work, and I said, Rochelle, Skylar's the same age as Roderick, which is her daughter. And, I was like, hey, would you mind watching Roderick and Adriana for us? We haven't gone out on a date in almost 2 years. It's my wife's birthday. We're going out of our minds. Would you mind watching the kids for us for a couple hours? We're going to go to Sugar Fire Smokehouse, and then we're going to go see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And she's like, oh, yeah, no problem. I'll watch them. So we drop them off. We go and eat at a Sugar Fire Smokehouse. Then we drive back here to Union, and we go and we're watching Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Well, we get right at the end of the movie. Literally, there was like 4 minutes in the movie left. We missed the last 4 minutes of the movie. The phone starts blowing up, and we're like, what is going on? And I was like, oh, it's Rochelle. Something really must be wrong. So I get up and I go out of the movie theater. I tell my wife, I'm like, I'll be right back. And I answer the phone, and she's like, you got to get here now. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, there's blood everywhere. Something, fingers cut off. I hung up. I went and got our seat. We got to go. Let's go. So I'm driving like 120 miles an hour through Union, and because they live all the way up in Krakow, which is like, I don't know, a 20-minute drive. I think we made it there in 8. And we get there. So what had happened is Roderick sat down and she made him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And he was done. He asked if he could get down, and she was like, yeah, you can get down. So Roderick got down, and she turned around to grab, Skylar's sandwich, and he decided he wanted back up at the table and tried to climb up on it. And they had high back bar stools. And so Roderick had his hand wrapped around the bar stool like this. And so when it fell over on the hardwood floor, that bar stool landed right here and severed the ends of these 2 fingers off. So literally these 2 fingers were cut off. Hold on, let me get it the right way. They were cut off right here at this knuckle.
Oh my God.
So, like, needless to say, we never really went out again after that. Nothing against Rochelle, because it wasn't her fault. Toddlers will be toddlers. And they were like super scared. They're like, oh, we're really sorry. I'm like, dude, it's not your fault. Shit happens. Kids will be kids. I'm sure more stupid shit's going to happen over the next 10 years. But, so after that, we're like, where are you at? And then he ended up having another open heart surgery. And then this happened. So we don't ever really go out to eat a whole lot. The only thing that we do have an abundance of is hot sauce packets from the Chinese restaurant. We have like 4,000 of those.
Well, that's because they deliver.
Well, no, we pick it up, but we always get the hot sauce. We grab extra because I use that shit on everything, like Frank's. Only it's free. You don't have to buy it. And it's really good.
Well, too. I mean, you're buying their food, so it's not necessarily free, but hey, close enough.
Yeah, close enough, right? Yeah. So yeah, we don't ever have ketchup packets because, like, if we get food and the kids do not get ketchup, like, ever, like any type of sauce, because they will be finger painting the windows with it.
Well, yeah,
true story.
That's true. That's true. We have to. So
that's kids.
They're like, Mama, can we have sauce? She's like, nope, they don't have any. They're out. It's like that was like the day we drove through the park. Adriana was so upset because the park was closed, and like it was legitimately closed. Like literally, the parks department put out a thing on Facebook that said today and tomorrow. This was while I was on vacation a few weeks ago. They're like, today and tomorrow, the the parks will be closed. We're doing maintenance, yada yada yada. Well, we drove through the park because we were letting Roderick play Pokemon, and I was playing Pokemon. We were getting Pokestops, and we were pulling in. We'd get our stops, and yada yada yada. And Adriana's just like so butthurt over the fact that we couldn't play at the park. She's like, I want to play at the park. I'm like, we can't. The playgrounds are closed. Well, why? And we kept telling her it was under maintenance. Well, I finally got tired of it, and I told her the squirrels went crazy and they pooped all over everything. And she's like, ew, that's gross. I don't want to play there. So, didn't I? Yeah, so that's all she talked about for like a week and a half. And she's like,
the squirrels pooped on everything. Oh, my God.
We would drive to the park, and she's like, Mama, can we play at the park, or did the squirrels poop on it again? Oh, I know. I'm a horrible person. Yeah, the funny things that we tell our kids just so they'll be quiet about something. It's great.
Well, that's what we told
From time
the
to time.
girls. Our girls growing up, we literally lived right across the street from the movie thing. And so me and Mike are like, we're going to leave you girls here at the house alone. And now who's in charge? And they're like, Captain Slithers. That's right. And if Captain Slithers tells you can do something, you got to ask the dog Heidi. And if Heidi says you can do it, then you can do it. Captain Slithers was a stuffed animal. They're like, Mom, Captain Slithers never tells us if we can do it. I said, exactly. So if he says you can or cannot do it, then, you're not doing it. So, so they'd be like, yeah, our babysitter, Captain Slithers, won't let us do nothing.
Yeah, and I make up random stuff too. Like sometimes I tell them stuff burned down. That's why we can't go there. Because like when the virus first started, like try explaining to a 3 and a 5-year-old why we can't go out to eat at Pasta House, and they're like, I want to go to Pasta House, Dad. It's like we can't. Well, why not? Because they're closed. Well, why are they closed? Well, because of the virus. There's no in eating in, and they closed for curbside pickup too because of yada 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 and blah blah blah. And then, like they didn't get through to their head. So I'm like, all right. So the next time they ask, I'm like, it burned down. I'm sorry, the kitchen caught on fire. It's gone. It'll be rebuilt in a few months. This was back in March, whenever it was closed up. I'm like, it burned down. They had a kitchen fire. The whole place was destroyed. And they're like, Mama, did Pasta House really burn down? And she's just like, whatever your dad says. She's like, I'm not getting in on this. And the next time we drive by
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but like I had a mean dad one time that was at the store, and like we turned the faucets off because of COVID. You know what I mean? So you can't drink out of the water fountains at our work. And the kid's like, I want to drink the water, Daddy. And the dad's like, no, see that mean lady right there? She's gonna make you have to have a dry mouth because they're being dumb about not having the fountains going. And I'm like, really, dude? I didn't turn them off. The company turned them off. She needs a bottle of water. I'll give her a bottle of water. But I'm like, I'm not the bad guy here. Go spend the quarter and go get your kid a bottle of water.
Right? I mean, there's that whole machine because of that.
Yeah, all my fault.
Yeah, and man, just remember back when we were kids, like when they had the Vest soda machines and sodas were like 15 cents. And it's like now you go up there and you're like, oh, $1.25. Is it a 20 ounce? And it's a freaking can. It's like, are you kidding me right now? Like legitimately our Walmart, what is it, $1.50? It's like $1.25 for a can of Pepsi, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know. We bought one like a while back because Roderick had to take his medicine, and that was the only thing because the store was closed. I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a 20 ounce. Nope. And it was always disappointing too, because like sometimes you go get a Vest and you get your soda, and sometimes you go and you get 5 sodas. For some reason, the machine would just dispense that many. And then you would go and you wouldn't get one. You'd push the button after putting your only quarter in it, and it would go chung chung, and nothing would come out. It's like, damn it!
Yeah,
it's like
just like the good old vending machines that also do that.
Yeah, I mean the good old
And then
vending
you wanna
machines back in the day. It was like
break the
freaking gambling.
glass.
Yeah, it was like gambling at the freaking casino. You like go up and put your quarter in. Sometimes you get 1 soda, sometimes you get 6, and sometimes you don't get anything. Like I cleaned that one out one time. Like I hit the button and like 15 sodas came out. I'm like, I come walking up like this, and my mom's like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I don't know. I put a quarter in, and all these sodas came out." I was like, we got orange. It doesn't matter what you want. I've got one of everything. Yeah, I know. Did you bring it in?
Yes.
Well, then the kids probably ran off with it.
Well, I gotta have it now.
Well, figure out what you did with it. I haven't seen it.
I know. I'm like, is she asking for sex? I gotta have it now.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's
all right.
demanding.
I got to get off here, guys. No.
It does not matter what.
Hey, you might lose your life. You might have the time of your life. I guess it's a 50-50 bet at this point, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to marriage. You never
Did you
know
leave
what
it on the stairs? No, she's looking for the vinyl. She had a pickup order for vinyl for some T-shirts earlier, and she misplaced it. She probably didn't bring it in.
I did bring it.
Yeah, sure. That's what you say.
Because I had these,
Uh-huh.
and the vinyl, and my purse in my hand, and everything's here but the vinyl.
Did you look in your purse?
Yes, I just did that.
Smithers, see, when me and Mike fight, I'm just like, you're wrong, I'm right, shut up. I rule the house. You know, that's how we fight.
But the crazy
Yeah.
part is
Smithers.
you are almost never actually right.
No,
that time that you told me that I lost your credit card
that's right.
and you found it in the fridge where you had your cigarettes at the time,
Yeah.
the freezer,
Yeah.
there's very little chance that I lost your credit card
I don't
where
care.
you put your cigarettes.
I don't care. You did it.
I know that it was a bad day for me.
Told you I brought it in.
Well, see?
Adriana or Roger hid it over here in this corner.
Sure.
Keep expecting his head to explode like in Scanners. I've seen these movies. He's in
See,
danger.
it's funny. So she always argues with me about stuff, and like 99.9% of the time, it's funny that because she knows that I'm right, and I just am like, whatever, okay. And she's like, she gets so mad at me because I'm just like, oh, okay. And
She
then
wants you to argue with her.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. And then
Did
she
you
goes
see what
and
Smithers wrote to you, Russ?
oh, I see what he did. I will back your book with $1,000 if she punches you.
Seriously, I will do it.
Yeah, you better.
Well,
put
he
some
never
money
said
in
how
it.
hard she has to punch him.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take a punch to the face.
I'll
for
just punch
$1,000.
Mike for the shit of it because I like hitting him sometimes.
I'll do it if you'll back it for $1,000. I will definitely let my wife punch me in the face, even if we get that glimpse of hope of
Joking.
like
He
you don't.
works at Taco Bell. He can't afford $1,000.
Well, you never know. He might fucking black market some of those nacho fries early. I mean, he's got a freaking case of salsa at his house that he was talking
Well,
about
he's
here
probably
way
got
back.
black olives too.
He's
I
probably,
did.
that's where all the black olives went. That fucker, he's hoarding them. He's got a whole freaking mountain. He's like Trish with the Welch's grape juice. He's got 6 tractor trailers loaded with black olives.
I did invite Jamie Noble earlier to this, but he never showed up.
Yeah, I never got a message from him. I don't know.
Well, he never messaged me neither, so he might actually be doing something.
Probably
Yeah.
hung over from last night.
Probably. Was there? Wait, no, there wasn't even an unscripted.
No, there wasn't, but he
No.
was probably drinking alone. I'm drinking alone, you know.
Well, yeah, he didn't have the company, so he just kept drinking, and he didn't have to probably have the phone in front of him to go back and forth between the phone and the fridge.
Yeah, you know, the sad thing is this would happen, and I would end up getting like $1,000 in Taco Bell vouchers in the mail in next week. Like, here,
Hey,
Merry
you
Christmas,
can buy a
have
shit
fun
ton
with
of
your
nacho fries with that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's gonna be a nice little note in there. It's gonna be like, dear Russell, I couldn't afford to back your book for $1,000, but here's $1,000 in nacho fries vouchers. Enjoy yourself. You guys are gonna see me in the next live. There's gonna be a freaking mountain of nacho fries behind me, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get on here. I'm gonna be like Jabba, like Pizza the Hut. I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say it too.
I'm gonna be hiding in the pile of fries. You're just gonna see my eyes in my mouth and be like, "Welcome to Wretched Explode Studios."
Hey, you also have to have the fro on top, so that way.
Hold on.
We can see.
Welcome to my lair.
See, it'll all be the thing, although Smithers will mean it in only the best regards because he's a pretty good guy. But your Taco Bell will tell you you have to have them all in one order. So you'll have to buy $1,000 in nacho fries all at once.
Yeah, and I'll totally do the freaking Pizza the Hut thing with the freaking nacho fries. I'll be Nacho the Bell. And, be like, what happened to Nacho the Bell? He died. What happened to him? He ate himself to death. I mean, that was the funniest freaking line in a movie ever. I mean, I love Spaceballs so much, and I'll never forget that when I was a kid, when I seen Pizza the Hut. And then later on, they're like, he died. He ate himself to death. It's like, oh man. They're the greatest freaking movies. You're sweating nacho cheese.
Yeah, what happened to him? He ate himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had to be one of the grossest characters too, because like he's sitting there and there's like cheese and like it looks like snot just like dripping off
just
of him.
melting.
And the henchman just reaches over and grabs a chunk of him and starts eating it.
Spills everything out in fries.
911. I think I'm having a stroke from all the salt. I've been assaulted. Oh man.
Oh, I'm sure you guys have heard those 911 calls that people have done where they're high, super high as hell, or drunk, or both, where they're just, I don't know how to call 911. I can't find my hands. Are they
Yeah.
attached to you, sir?
I don't know. Let me look.
Well,
You know,
that's
like,
kinda
it's insane.
so I
Was that
swear to
Trish?
God, I thought Mike. We always do this joke about ass punching, and I thought Mike ass punched me in the middle of the night because my butt was like really hurting, and I'm like, "Baby, did you ass punch me?" And I had this big bruise, and I'm like, "Baby, are you ass punching me?" And it kept happening, and I'm like, "This bruise is getting bad." Finally, we realized that we had moved the bed to where it was by the window seal. So when I'd roll over in the middle of the night, I was ass punching myself. But I'll never take blame to that. To this day, it's still Mike and his ass punches.
That's all right. So
Well,
here's a funny story for you. So when I worked at Ed's blasting, I used to have really bad acid reflux, like to the point that it ate the enamel off the toilet in the middle of the night because I'd just wake up and just acid was horrible in the back of my throat. Like it literally ate through my esophagus. And they finally got me on medicine that controlled it, and I've been good ever since then. But anyway, so I got up one night because my reflux was really bad, and I guess I was like half in and out of it, and I laid the wrong way in the bed, and like my wife hauled off and kicked me right in the eye in the middle of in the morning and blacked my eye, and so my boss, asked me. He goes, "Oh my God, what the hell happened to you? Did you get into a fight?" And I was like, "No, my wife." And so I was like, she kicked me in the eye because I was laying the wrong way in bed. So like months went by. This is like in spring. So months went by. We had our Christmas party, and it's December, and my wife comes with me to the party, and he looks at me and he looks at her. He's like, "You haven't been assaulting him lately, have you?" And I was like, almost died. And she looked at me. She's like, "What the hell is he talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, he came in one day with a black eye and said you assaulted him." And she was like, "You did?" And he was like, "No, I'm just messing with you." Oh my gosh, it was great. Trish, cool down, please. We don't want to hear about your sex life. Ass punching. Oh man. What are we?
I'm over 40. Pretty much. It's like heavy petting, baby. Good? Okay, I'm good. Good night.
Russell's reaching out for help. His wife abuses him. Oh my gosh! I ran into him at Frike's, which is our hometown grocery store, and it was probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago. And he asked me how Roderick was doing because it's really funny. His name was Eric. His dad was the one that ran the company, and when his dad passed away, he ended up taking over the company. But Eric used to be a heart surgeon. And so, we had talked about Roderick and all of his problems and stuff. And, he knew about all the stuff that I was telling him already. And he asked me, he goes, "Has your wife blacked your eye lately?" And I was like, oh my God, man. Some of the things that people remember is priceless. I was like, "She's in the car. You want to ask her?"
Oh my God.
One of those things.
Yep, it's one of those things. Well, we've been going for a while. I got to get up at 3:00 in the morning for work. Unfortunately,
Couple hours away.
Yeah, it's a couple hours away. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to call it a night, everybody. But I definitely want to reach out to everyone and say thank you very much for backing the book. For everyone that's backed the book, everyone that shared the book, I really appreciate all the shares. Shares are worth their weight in gold. And last but not least, I want to thank the awesome people who extended their books out to add into the campaign for the PDFs for number 1. Because now we have 9 titles. That's right, 9 titles. Not 6, not 7, not 8, but 9 titles. Tonight, we added Scarlet Huntress and Sister Mercy number 1. So I will be doing the graphics for that in the morning, not tonight, and adding all that stuff on Facebook. When you see that post tomorrow morning, share it out into the ether. Tell everyone. Because the awesome thing about this is is even though you won't get the book right away once the campaign ends, once the funds make their way over to Kickstarter and back to me and your pledges go through, everyone will get these PDFs because these books are already done and ready to rock. All these awesome creators who are kind enough to share their works with me will send me the PDFs or however they want to do it, and you will get the copy of that book to read right away on your phone, your computer, your tablet, whatever you see fit, and you will be able to enjoy those great stories and hopefully find a story that you will enjoy. So I definitely appreciate all the love. Keeping it indie. The indie creators are awesome. We work with a great group of people. Wendy, Lewis, Tom, Rodney, Sean, Corey, all of these guys, great guys, gals, whatever they are. Awesome people. Couldn't be better. Couldn't ask for a better group of people to work for. I just can't say enough good things, guys. I really can't. I can't believe the amount of love that was given to try to help push this project. I know you guys believe in it, and I really believe in it, and I really appreciate all the support. I'm excited. I want to get this book into people's hands. I can't wait for people to read it because it is that good. It's not just a sci-fi story. It's got several different layers. It's a drama, a thriller, whatever you want to call it. It contains a little bit of everything. Well, if you wanted me to compare it to something, I have no freaking clue what to compare it to because I've read so many books, I've read so many comics, watched so many movies, played so many video games. I don't think there's really anything that I can really compare it to because it's just that good. So definitely check it out. Give it some love. I will pop the link in here one last time for everybody. Maybe. There we go.
And the one
So
thing
we've
you
got-
didn't mention, Russell, for your campaign is the awesome shirt.
Yes. So, yes, thank you very much. Night Smithers, Night Wendy, Night Lewis. So I popped the link in there. So, yes, guys, we got to get this book
Good
funded.
night, guys.
Because once we hit the funding goal, it's not like a stretch goal or anything, but we will unlock the CB4K. I'm a Titan for CB4K shirt. I will show it off real quick. Thanks for bringing it up, Jack. I forgot all about it. Don't tell me you locked up. That's right. That's what I thought. I'll punch you in the nose. All right. There
Cross
we
Park
go.
uses electric.
Somebody's getting
Well,
punched
that's why
tonight.
you're doing that. I want to wish everybody happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays, everyone. Here we go, right here. So we're gonna cover up.
You know
Jack's
what?
ugly
No.
mug there.
This is not the PC stuff. It's called Merry Christmas. And if you don't understand what that means because you celebrate something else, you still understand that everybody else has a Merry Christmas. I'm tired of the political correctness of Happy Holidays. Yes, there are other celebrations going on during the same time, but it's commonly known as Merry Christmas, and that's the way it should be.
So we got I'm a Titan for CB4K with Mr. Xenonanite Titan as me, Roderick laying in bed after open heart surgery, and you've got Sis with the get well balloon. With thanks to Wendy for the suggestion to add the curly blonde haired girl in there. And this shirt means a lot to me. And the reason why it means a lot to me is because CB4K is an awesome organization. With going through all the open heart surgeries with Roderick and seeing the love and what it does for the kids when they bring in a toy. Whether it's $1 toy, it's a $5 toy, it's a $10 toy, it's a 50-cent toy. When the kid is going through that much pain, you bring them something and they're 100% invested with their attention on that toy. It takes away their pain. It gives us as a parent time to sit back and decompress from the day. Whether he's had an open heart surgery, whether he's had a cardiac cath, any of that stuff, anything above. Yes, it does come in fat guy sizes. So much violence tonight. And
Yeah,
I would love.
I was waiting for you to get to that.
What's that? So much violence tonight.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, and you know
I
it's
saw
a
he
great
put that. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and you know I would love to be able to give back to this organization. And the reason, like I said, that I believe in it so much is you know we've been in the hospital with Roderick. We've been in a room for 13 hours waiting for a call to say our son's okay. And then we went and sat with him in a room and tried to comfort him. And there's nothing that you can do to comfort him. You can't make a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old or a 1-year-old understand, you know, that they need to lay still in the bed or it's going to hurt because they just had their chest cracked open. And so for them to bring in, you know, toys that people have donated, books that people have donated to to the hospitals to give to these kids, and for them to sit there and be so excited and spend 10, 15, 20 minutes looking at it, and then us to be able to have that time after sitting in a room for 13 hours stressing our butts off, and to sit there and go, oh my God, we can talk to each other. I can be there for my wife. She can be there for me. We don't have to just be there for Roderick 100% of the time. And so I want to give back to these charities, to these kids that are in cancer centers, these kids that are in the hospitals that may not ever get to go home again. Mark sends comic books to them from Image, Dark Horse, all kinds of different books. And he's partnered with them, and all the money that's given to them, 100% of it goes towards shipping these books to the hospitals. And more are getting added every day. He ships nationwide, and it's awesome. I love the work that he does. And unfortunately, I've thought about doing this, Wendy, and I just can't. I can't do it. And so the reason why I did an unlock for the shirt at the end, when we hit goal, was so it wouldn't affect the print run. And I wanted 100% of these shirts to go to CB4K, because officially, unofficially, the money for the shirts is supporting CB4K. I just can't say that on Kickstarter because they don't like charities. And you know what? If I funded the book, who cares if the money's going to charity? And if somebody would turn me in, they're a real piece of shit for taking away from kids. Anyway,
Okay.
so sorry, I had to say it. So
Well, they're out there, Russ, though, so be careful,
Yes, I know. So I wanted to do it go ahead and just drop it in and see if that would boost things. But that money will be going towards them, and what we have now, minus the shipping and the Kickstarter fees and then taxes and all that, takes me nowhere near close to what the print run is in order to keep the books as cheap as they are. Because unfortunately, the reason why the $6,000 goal was there was because in order to keep the the hardcover art book at 50 and keep the hardcover book at 40, I had to hit at least 70 of each. And like, if people buy the prints and the metal prints and stuff, that the add-ons, the a little bit of extra made off of that, even if we didn't hit the 70 books, I would still be able to print 70 books. And whatever didn't get shipped, since the hardcover wasn't going to be available again after the Kickstarter, I was going to auction off for CB4K and just be like, here's 13 books that were overran in order to get everybody the books at these price. These are going towards a charity. Start bidding on it. The bid starts at $40, and just run a book every week or whatever. So that's why I did the prints, to help try to fund the 70 print minimum. Because once you get down to 50, it brought the art book up to like almost $60. And then the hardcover copy of the book was almost going to be like 50. Because like what I'm at now with the 70, the hardcover book comes out to be like $34. So it's don't be a piece of shit, people. Exactly. So, I mean, even at 40, there's like no, whatever you call it, overhead coming off of it. It's like, you guys are getting the book, I'm printing it, and it covers the shipping to have the book sent to me, and yada, yada, yada. Because like I said before, I'm not in it to make a whole bunch of money. I'm going to print it for what it costs me to print it, just because I wanted to get it into people's hands. And so I thought about, let's just go ahead and add the t-shirt in, but then it would really be cutting into the overhead of, I would have to come up with like 2,000 or 3,000 to pad the rest of the print run of the book. And I don't know, it's a mess. So I think what our end all be all is going to be is next year, when everybody is back at work and it's not the holidays and we rerun it, we're just going to run a soft cover and a hardcover version of the book. We're going to do prints and metal prints. We're still going to limit the metal prints to 10 prints of each piece of art, and we're going to drop the art book. And maybe as a mid campaign between book 1 and book 2, we'll run an art book of book 1 if enough people want to see it. I mean, the only reason I want to do the art book, like I said before, is I wanted to show off everybody's stuff. I wanted to show off who Wendy Steen Shaner is. I wanted to show off who Ed Williams is. I wanted to show off each one of these artists and give them a spotlight and say, hey, these people are awesome. You didn't just read my book. You saw their badass art. This is their initial piece. This is where their piece ended. Here's the pieces in between. Here's my piece that I sent them in my shitty stick figure fashion. And give you guys a glimpse of that, because that's the stuff that I really like to see, is the process. And so I thought it'd be really cool to do that, and then also spotlight, the artist and say, here's Wendy Steen Shaner. She does Sireness. She does Naughty Fairy Stripper Assassins. I'm trying to convince her to do Naughty Elf Gigolo Assassins, but I don't know. We're not going to be able to do it this year because we're cutting it close to Christmas. So hopefully next year we'll have Naughty Elves Gigolo Assassins. One of them is going to be called the Helicopter because he's going to be getting, get to the chopper. So anyway, so yeah, no, I wanted to spotlight each one of the artists.
Well, if she gives him big enough ears, he could do the helicopter himself.
Yeah, he could do the helicopter. Yeah. So no, I mean the art book was a great idea. There was a lot of people that had interest in it, but the problem was setting a minimum print run for 2 books. I mean, at least for the soft cover and the hard cover, I was able. So the reason why I didn't add it right at first when people were like, "Hey, can we do a soft cover?" was because there was the possibility that it was going to be 2 separate print runs because of the format of the book. But I was able to get the format of the book in a 6x9 for soft cover, and they're like, "Look, we can split the print run between the 2 books, but this is what your cost is going to be for each one." And so I was like, "All right, well, it's only going to be $10 less, but it's still a viable option for people if they are really hurting right now and they want the book." So I don't know. We're tossing around a lot of ideas. Hopefully we can hit this by Thursday. We can get it shared out there. Now that we've got 9 PDFs, we can ass punch it, as Trish puts it, and get
that final ass punch push.
Yeah, get that final ass punch. We're gonna freaking go Ryukin all the way right up into the ass punch and get this bad boy funded. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop trying. I'm not gonna let this beat me down. 2020's got me down pretty good, but I'm gonna show it what's up. So we're gonna do it again, and then we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna do it again until we get it right. Or I find somebody that's gonna print it for dirt cheap. I mean, we might have to get it on like stone tablets and shit, but we'll figure it out. I'm just kidding. So
I think that'll charge you a lot more though, because it'll be a lot more man hours to get that done.
The shipping's going to be killer.
Yeah, the shipping's going to be killer. Yeah, we'll ship by drone. So
hey, I can go to the dollar store and get some construction paper and some yarn, and we can thread it like we did when we were kids. If we got to, Russ, to help you out, I will gladly do that.
Trish, buy the Dixie cups. We can also talk to each other.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. That's been my biggest worry. I worry that if the campaign funds, people are going to lose interest in the book, because I know people have been waiting for the book all year. And I've tried to make it sooner. I set my goal for November initially, and I tried to make it sooner than that. But health-wise, money-wise, and just plain 2020 just didn't allow it to happen. I had some stuff.
Russ, we're your friends. We're never going to lose interest in you as your friends. And that's who's in this room right now, is those that actually care about you. And it doesn't matter if or when that does fund. We're always going to be here for you.
No, I appreciate that a lot. And I can't wait.
Yep.
And Jack, I've never had you on before. I've never seen you online before. So Jack has read the book. Jack, I'm putting you in the spotlight. What did you think about the book? Face to face, what did you think? Lay it on me. I
enjoyed the hell out of it. We had the talk back and forth of everything that I can't spoil, obviously, but I enjoyed the hell out of the story. I can't wait for more. I know it's going to get more insane, because that's when you have a trilogy, the second book always is the craziest, because you don't have to explain as much that you did in the first book. And it's going to go balls to the wall. And that's really what I'm expecting from the second book. And I can't wait to have this trilogy to see the art that is done for the comic and how more insane it gets by then. Because I'm sure excited. By the time you get to that comic, that you're going to have other stories. And you're going to have your name more so out there, which, just like Trish said, we're your group of friends and we're going to always be there for you. But we are trying to promote you so that the world knows about you.
Jack reads.
Get out of here, Smithers.
Yes. I do read from time to time. I mean, Smithers. This right here is the pile that I read today. So, yeah, I read.
Yeah, and so wait a minute.
I don't. I just want the pretty pictures with the big boobies. I'm honest.
And I just have to say this though. See, Smithers is trying to burn you, but see, Smithers got a copy of the book like 2 months ago. So, Smithers, I haven't ever heard anything, Mister
Smithers, I read that book in like 3 days.
I'm giving him trouble. He had that surgery and stuff. So,
Hey, but that was the better time. He had the time.
I thought he was in it for the pretty ladies. I need to quit my job so I can read more. Wait, when?
All right, it's almost midnight.
Yep, let's call
Some
it.
of us have been up since 5 a.m.
I hear
and
ya.
worked 16-hour day.
I know. We'll keep going. So, have
Yeah,
a good
we
night,
will.
guys.
So have a good night, guys. Like I said, back the book. Share it with your friends. Look for the post tomorrow. Share it out for me if you would, please. Let's try to bag this. If not, we'll do it again. Everyone, have a great night. Jack,
Merry
thanks for
Christmas,
being here.
everybody.
Mike and Trish, thanks for being
Happy
here.
New Year. All that
Yep.
good stuff.
Merry Christmas. Happy New
Have a
Year.
good day
I'll
at
see
work
you all
and
Tuesday.
get some sleep, guys.
Yeah, right.
Here you go.